chair real quick.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. We're live. We're live on YouTube. I'm your host, Tyrus Filson. Today, we're going to be talking about the wild card round playoffs. It's wild card round playoffs, first round of the playoffs. We got some really good matchups, and I'm joined by some guests today. Got my cuz on here, Malachi. Got my guy, Zaire. We got my guy Kalani Bugs joining the channel again. And first round of the playoffs, I'm hyped. I'm excited. More than usual. I was hyped and excited last year for the playoffs, but this year I'm a little more hyped and excited because my Washington Commanders are actually playing. Last year around this time, I think we were getting our draft boards ready, doing our mock drafts, talking about all that type of stuff, who we're going to draft, who's our new head coach going to be, all that. This year, my Commanders in that joint. You know what I'm saying? I feel good. But MVP talk, playoffs, score predictions, all that, we're going to kick it off right now. But since my guy Malachi has never been on this channel before, I've had Kalani and Zaire on. But Malachi, you want to start off? What's your thoughts on your matchup tomorrow, Steelers versus Ravens? I know you're a Steelers fan. How do you feel?
I feel I got the Steelers winning because I feel like we are on a 4-game losing streak, and I feel like it can't get worse than this. It has to some has to give. We got to fight, and it's a division opponent, and we know them and we play them well. I feel like we're winning. It's going to be a tough game, like 24, 28, 20, 21, 24, about around that range.
That makes sense. Yes. Y'all know both of y'all teams, you're going to run the football, you're going to play hard defense, and that's really the identities.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, though, with the Steelers and the Ravens, I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to give Lamar the edge on that one. I'm going to go with the Ravens in that game. I just don't see Lamar losing first round. Like, I do think he had the better team last year compared to this year, and they did regress like a little bit, but they're still an elite team, and they're fighting to get the KC.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, obviously, because I'm a Ravens fan, so I have to represent my boys. Definitely agree that it's probably going to be a close game because we know it's an AFC North matchup. We both know each other. The Steelers are the Ravens rivals, and the Ravens are the Steelers rivals. So, of course, I'm expecting a mainly defensive game, and especially with a lot of running on this field. So I'm hoping, John Harbaugh does what he's supposed to do, and our offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, as well, and run Derrick Henry. And so I'm expecting a close game. I'm definitely going to think it's probably like 24-17. So definitely be a close game.
I'm gonna have to agree with Malachi. I'm gonna have to go with Pitt because I genuinely feel like Pittsburgh is more ready. And this may be a crazy take, and people may look at me crazy, but I'd rather go with Russell Wilson over Lamar Jackson strictly off of experience. I think people forget Russell Wilson has that Super Bowl under his belt, and I think that people forget him in the regular season is pretty different than him in the postseason. Now, Baltimore's been playing really well. I'll say this: Baltimore would definitely win, or has the higher chance of winning, if, like Zaire just said, if they run the ball and Lamar Jackson gets equal amount of snaps for throwing the ball. If it's a balanced offense, then I feel like they have the edge of winning. But I think that the Steelers' defense is a top defense in the league, as we all know, and I feel like Russell wasn't going to come out with a chip on his shoulder, especially after losing 4 straight. I just don't see a division rival going into Baltimore, which is a crazy environment. I don't see him going into Baltimore and just rolling over. I genuinely believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers will win that game. I think it's gonna be a close game. My prediction, I'm gonna go 24-21 in favor of Pittsburgh, but I do believe that it's gonna be a hard fought game. And I think Russell Wilson is gonna show people why he had that Super Bowl win in Seattle. So I think I'm gonna go with the edge with Pittsburgh. And Lamar does have a history of not playing too well in the playoffs. So I'm just gonna have to go with Pittsburgh. I will. I'm gonna have to go with Pittsburgh.
Got my man Julian in here. What's good, Julian? How you feeling, bro?
What's good? I'm good.
That's good, man. How you feel about the Ravens and Steelers tomorrow?
I don't really think it would be much of a challenge for Baltimore, being that you have like Derrick Henry, you have Lamar Jackson. Even though they're without Zay Flowers, you still have probably the 3-time MVP. I don't believe in Pittsburgh's offense. Even though Russell Wilson probably a future Hall of Famer, but I don't believe in Pittsburgh offense to score. So I think it's a little easier for Baltimore to win.
That's fair. Their offense hasn't really
What's your
been the
score
best
prediction?
for the last 2 weeks.
You said what?
What's your score prediction? Your score prediction?
17-27.
Solid. I'm going to give my score prediction for that game. I'm gonna go Ravens 24. Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens 24-21. Close matchup. Justin Tucker gets some confidence back. Game-winning field goal. How about that? I'm still rocking with my guy Jay Tuck. They've been hating on him too much. I like Jay Tuck, but I really think that Lamar, he's got to get it done this year. He's got to do something because last year, for me, the Ravens' window to get that Super Bowl, you could make the argument that it closed last year because they just had, to me, they had like a super team. The defense was elite, the offense was balling, and you're so close to stopping Mahomes and just Lamar. He's my guy, but he folded under pressure. He didn't get it done. That's just what it is. And I think their whole mission this year, get the KC and get your get back. Redemption.
Definitely gonna have to agree with you with that one there. I especially since last year, because as I looked back at the game, the AFC Championship, I got extremely mad as I realized that the Chiefs did not score a single touchdown in the second half. And I realized that all it took would be our offense. If only our offense would lock in and Lamar would lock in, all of them, we probably would have won that game, especially when our defense was on fire the second half. And so I think I would hope that they're hopefully locked in this year and they're just going to take it sort of like one game at a time. So they're probably not focused on like the AFC Championship or the divisional round. Right now, they're focused on Pittsburgh and getting past them. So that should be the main priority. And then worry about who they play next or whatever later on. So just hope they take it one game at a time.
Yeah, one week at a time.
Yes, and then like I said before, they use Derrick Henry because that's the reason why they got him. And don't be running the ball 6 times. Run it a lot. Just utilize what they do best. And that's what I hope the Ravens do.
What seed is Baltimore again?
They are the third.
Baltimore is the 3 seed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But moving on to the next game, I want to talk about the Chargers and the Texans. I got the Chargers winning that game. I almost said Texans. Yeah, I got the Chargers winning that game. Now, if I'm wrong, I wouldn't be too mad because I like CJ Stroud. It would be cool to see him win, but nah, man, they've been struggling. I think that right now, at this moment, Harbaugh has the Chargers looking solid. The Chargers got the better quarterback. They got a solid run game. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I'm gonna roll with them. What you guys think about that?
Towers, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm also gonna go with the Chargers only because Houston came in this year with a lot of expectations. They came in. I was hearing a lot of things. They're going to be a top 2 seed, a top 3 seed in the AFC, whatever the case may be. But I think they really underperformed. Yes, the injuries of Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins a few times, Tank Dell out for the season, though that really hurt them. But at the same time, even before that, they were still kind of underperforming. They were playing solid, but I didn't see an AFC contender coming out with Houston. I knew they were going to be a playoff team. Obviously, they still have those star-studded names over there, and they have all the firepower. But I don't think they're quite ready to get over the hump yet. So I'm going to have to go with the Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert, he's been balling this year. I feel like he hasn't been talked about enough, but he's been having a pretty solid year. Then you also got Harbaugh. I mean, his first year with them, I mean, he's been leading them pretty well. I just think they're just a better coach team. I just believe that they're just more prepared. I mean, Justin Herbert, he has playoff experience, you know. But I just think as of right now, I'm gonna have to go Justin Herbert over C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud has had a really they weren't kidding when they said a sophomore slump. So it's pretty obvious, it's pretty evident. So I'm gonna have to go with the Chargers. I just feel like they're the more prepared team. So definitely Chargers. My score prediction, I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game for the Chargers. I'm gonna have to go 34-21 Chargers.
I rock with it. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be that lopsided. You know, I do still think that the Texans defense is going to play hard. I just think that CJ, he's been struggling, and then the fact that Tank Dell went down, and I don't know. It's just they're going to have to run the ball, establish the run, and get things going to really stand firm in this game. It could get out of hand. I just don't see it. I think my score prediction, I'm gonna go Chargers 31, Texans 28.
I don't think it'll be that close. I generally don't. I don't think it'll necessarily be a blowout, but I do believe that it's going to be a lopsided game in a way, in favor of the Chargers.
Yeah.
Chargers have been hot though. They have
Red hot. Plus, they have a really good quarterback over there who's not being talked about enough for the year he's having. So,
I don't even. I'm gonna be honest. There's certain players I do like, certain players I don't like, and then there's certain players where I just don't understand the hype. Herbert, for years, I've never really been a big fan of his. To be honest, I give credit when it's due, but I always felt like Herbert was a little bit overrated because of the lack of playoff wins and stuff like that. Well, here's his chance. He's going to get a playoff win, and against the Texans, I really think he's going to get his playoff win, and he's going to prove his value. I mean, his value's already been proved. He's, probably the best player on his team, most valuable player on his team, all that stuff. But I think that with Harbaugh coming in, he's really done a great job of turning it around very fast. And I do think that in years to come, they're going to be fighting with the Chiefs for the division. It's not just going to be so easy for the Chiefs every year. There's going to be some comp coming in once they get some more help in free agency to draft. The Chargers are going to be right around the corner, in future years.
yeah, that's fair.
Julian, what you think, man?
I'm gonna agree with both of you guys. I believe that the Chargers will win. I think they're just a better coach team. They have the Harbaugh brother. And I think that's just the X factor. Everywhere he's gone, Stanford, Michigan, he's won. San Fran, he's won. I think that is just the X factor. And I honestly think the Chargers will upset a team in the playoffs. Just the way they play, just being physical up front. It's going to bully you, play bully ball. They're going to run the football. They're going to come off play action. They're going to do what they're going to do. So I have the Chargers beating Houston. I do have it a little bit closer, but I think it's just like when watching the game, you can just tell that from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, they're going to dominate. So I have a score of 24-21.
Zaire, what's your score prediction?
I'm gonna have to agree with all of you. I definitely believe the Chargers are probably gonna get it done. When I saw the Texans going against the Ravens on Christmas Day, the Texans looked kind of lost, and they look very depleted. And I kind of
terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible, and I felt really bad for C.J. Stroud because I'm a fan of C.J. Stroud, so it was just very bad. And so, fortunately for them, they play in a sort of easier division, so of course they're going to win that one. So, definitely, I'm in the range. It's probably going to be probably a one-score game. You could even say the Chargers win by more than 7 points. So we could even say 27-17. So it'll definitely be close, but not too close. I think the Chargers definitely will get it done.
Got you. For sure.
Yeah.
Malachi, what's your score prediction?
My score prediction is it's going to be a low-scoring game, I feel like, because the Texans, they really don't have they don't have a good offense like that. They have a good offense, but it hasn't been as explosive as people expected. And the Chargers defense is good. And I feel like the score's going to be like 17 to 21 range. And I feel like the Chargers going to get it done because they got Harbaugh, Justin Herbert. And I feel like Harbaugh's experience in the playoffs, he's going to outcoach, what's his name? Their Texans head coach.
Nico Ryans.
Yeah. DeMeco Ryans. I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game, and the Chargers going to just run the ball and out-physical them, more physical.
Dang, so we all got the Chargers. Okay.
I think you all agree. Yeah, the Texans, they just haven't been explosive. Like kind of like Malachi said, like they were expected to be all year. So I like C.J. Stroud. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. One of my favorite young quarterbacks. I really want to see him succeed. I do, but I just don't think right now is his time. Definitely in a few years, the Texans will definitely. They'll definitely. C.J. Stroud will definitely hold the Lombardi Trophy one day. I genuinely believe he will, or win an MVP. But I just think in the AFC right now it's too packed. You got the Bills, you got the Chiefs.
Nope. Might have lost you, bro.
Yeah, I think the Texans
I'm gonna
have a
remove you.
lot.
Oh, is he still here? Hold up. Okay. I think he left and he's gonna come back. Where'd you send Julian?
Yeah, I think the Texans have a lot of growing to do since they are a young team. I feel like they need an offensive line that can protect CJ Stroud. Again, CJ Stroud is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. I actually had him as going into the season. I had him probably being second in MVP votes. As you see, that did not happen. But I feel like the Houston Texans will hit their stride next year once they get some talent on the offensive line around them.
Right, got you. Kalani back in this joint. Okay. I'm gonna let you pick up. What was you saying, bro?
Kind of like the consensus of what the group is saying. I just believe the Texans just aren't necessarily ready. I mean, they're a playoff team. I think we can all agree on that. I just don't believe they're ready to get over the hump yet. But they will in due time. They definitely will in due time. You got a great quarterback in the making, C.J. Stroud. You got explosive offense. Nico Collins, when he gets fully healthy. Tank Dillon, when he comes back. Stephon Diggs, when he comes back, we know what he can do. You know, I just think they'll get it done soon, just not this year.
For sure. I got you. Yeah. The game. Here we go. Now we getting spicy, dog. Now we getting spicy. Okay. The game that I am most excited for, aside from my Commanders, is the Bills and the Broncos. And if we want to talk about scoring, I really feel like this game gonna be high scoring. The Broncos, they got a solid defense, but it's Josh Allen. That really don't matter when you play Josh Allen. He gonna carve anybody up. But that man, Bo Nix, he for real. Bo Nix is for real. If Jaden Daniels wasn't who he was in this class, then maybe Bo Nix would be a Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But Bo Nix is a baller, and I feel like he's going to do a good job in this game, and it's going to be a close one. I really do. I think it's going to be a solid game.
I can't agree with you, man. I mean, we all know I'm a Buffalo fan. Josh Allen's my quarterback. That's my MVP. Buffalo's my team. But I don't even want to sound biased here, but I don't think it's going to be close. And I'm going to tell you why. I genuinely believe Bo Nix, aside from what Jaden Daniels has done this year, he's obviously offensive rookie of the year, whatever the case may be. If it wasn't for him, Bo Nix would be my pick. I have to go Jaden Daniels, of course, because look how he's playing. He's breaking records, doing all these different things. But if it wasn't for him, I'm going to have to go with Bo Nix. But you're telling me you think a rookie quarterback is going to go into Buffalo, that Bills Mafia environment, in the winter, in the cold, with that environment against the top defense in the league, and do what he's been doing against like a few other teams? I can't see it. We know what Josh Allen gonna do. We know what he gonna do. He gonna get his. Like you said, he's gonna carve up any defense in the league because he's an MVP candidate. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league for a reason. He's gonna do him, Joe Burrow, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, even you can even maybe say JD5. They're gonna do what they're gonna do because they're great quarterbacks. So I just believe I don't see Bo Nix going into that environment and playing how he's been playing all season. He's a rookie with no experience, And you're asking for his as the 7th seed, a team that just barely made it to the playoffs. You're asking him for his first game to go into the Buffalo Bills Mafia environment at Highmark, and you expect him to do what he's been doing all year. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. I think my final score prediction with that game, I'm gonna have to go 35-17 in favor of Buffalo. I just can't. Bo Nix, I'm sorry, he had a great year, especially for a rookie. He's going to be something really good in the making. Like I said, if it wasn't for Jay Daniels, he's my rookie of the year. But I mean, I'm sorry, you can't ask that quarterback and that young with zero experience for his first playoff game to be against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in that environment to do what he's been doing. I can't. I'm sorry. I think it's a blowout in favor of Buffalo.
I respect it. Hey, got my man Jalen in here. What's good, dog? What's good?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
So we already did the Ravens prediction.
I'm about to say I'm already all right. I bet y'all already discussed that. Because it's probably going to be the biggest, most entertaining game that will probably come on in the wild card game. This playoff. So I understand that. I would cover our game first too if it was me.
Okay, dog. Okay.
Yeah. So, do you want me to just put my prediction in real quick?
Yeah. What's your score prediction? Ravens and Steelers. What you got, dog?
All right. So, sadly, my homeboy Zay Joystick will not be playing on was it Saturday night, or he won't be playing Saturday. He's out, officially confirmed out. So that will definitely affect our passing because and honestly all around just trick plays and all that and because he opens up so much for the Raven offense, being able to just just do whatever, call a receiver screen, just sweep, and just have them run down the field and make something happen. That when you lose something like that, it will affect your offense. And for us to really be catching tempo with him this whole year, just to come up to this point, to lose him in this game, I can see it possibly being able to throw us for a loop. But I feel like we still handle business. Last time we met with Pittsburgh, we had their number. And I feel like now that we got it, we're not a team where once we got your number, we got it. We're not gonna let that go.
Wasn't Pickens out the last time y'all played the Steelers?
Yeah.
All right, so if y'all lose, it ain't no excuses, dog. I'm just letting you know that.
What are you talking about? Literally roles are reversed. We have no
excuses. No,
I don't want to hear none of that. I'm not hearing that. You have Mark Andrews, you have Rashad Bateman, you still got Derrick Henry in the backfield. I don't want to hear none of those things.
Look. I'm still not listening. I'm not giving my team excuses. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is we don't have Zay. They don't have excuses. I'm sorry. I don't. You give my team excuses because I
get it. You don't have Zay. You don't have Zay, but Zay Flowers, he's a great player. He's solid. Cool. He is not no generational wide receiver. So if he got guys to step up, man.
First off, put some respect on my Pro Bowler's name. Everybody,
but Zay Flowers shouldn't have even been a Pro Bowler.
I knew that was going to come up.
It should have been Brian Thomas Jr.
You can make the argument. Zay Flowers is definitely a really good receiver, but I don't want to hear the excuse of if he's not playing. So I mean, because Zay Flowers is not that much of a difference than a Rashad Bateman, in my opinion. He's better, or Isaiah Likely, or Mark Andrews, whatever the case may be. He's the best receiver on your team, but you have other weapons to
look. Like I was saying, I'm not giving my team an excuse. I'm just saying all I was comparing was the fact that it's funny that they lost their number one receiver when we met in week. What was that? 17, 16? I can't remember. But we met then, and then now we are the ones without one. But like I was saying, it won't matter. When you have a 3-time MVP sitting back and this under center, he's going to do what he's got to do. the inspiration for Jada Daniels. He don't want to admit it. He don't want to admit it, but he looks up to it. Yeah, he looks up to it, but it's okay though. But anyway, like I was saying, I don't think that we need an excuse. I feel like I said, we went in there. As long as we go in there and do what we're supposed to do what we usually do, and don't try to do anything cute, we'll be fine. We'll take care of business. So I have the score prediction being, let's see, 28. Ravens, and I might have Steelers coming in around 21. I'll be fair.
That's a solid score prediction. I actually picked the Ravens to win as well. I just don't see Lamar, letting that slide, letting that game go. But before you came in, we was actually discussing the Bills-Broncos game. I think it's going to be – I do think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be closer than people, think. Kalani, he gave his thoughts. He's a Bills fan.
Yeah.
The Bills.
I can't help. I can see the aura, the Bills aura, like rising off his body right now as we speak.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel about? I'm sorry. How do you feel about Josh Allen and his this season with do you think he's a easy MVP, or what's going on with that?
Oh, we gonna get to the MVP talk. Let's handle the score prediction.
Get to that.
We're gonna get to the MVP talk.
We gonna get to spicy. Man, y'all ever had that halal sauce in New York? Spicy. It's about to be that spicy though.
I don't think anybody had that. I can't recall having a sauce like that.
It's spicy. He's right. It's spicy.
Really? I might have to try it.
We're gonna need some milk. We're gonna need some milk for this conversation. Spicy.
Yeah.
But
Julian Malley's there, which I think the score predictions for Buffalo and Denver. I'm curious to hear you guys' opinion.
I got Denver. I got Denver 28 to 24.
Denver,
wow, in Buffalo with a rookie quarterback.
Denver's defense. Pastor Tan's gonna lock up one side, and they're gonna make Josh Allen is going to do Josh Allen, but I feel like Denver's defense is gonna be too good. And like last year, they beat the Bills.
They beat us
last year. This ain't last year. No disrespect.
Yeah. We're a better team than last year, and we were struggling midway when y'all beat us through the season. We were like 6-6.
Wow.
So
you think you feel like this team right here, this Bills team, is better than last year's or like even year before that? Like, how do you
feel like?
Yes.
Nah, they lost multiple pieces on defense.
I'm gonna tell you why we're better. Offensively, we're better because it's like everybody else is saying, or all the analysts, whatever the case may be. It's that everybody eats offense. You don't have somebody like Stephon Diggs yelling at Josh Allen's ear every 5 seconds and throwing hand signals and do all these extra things because he wants the ball. Granted, you're a star receiver. You want the ball. You paid your dues. You want the ball. But defenses know that you want the ball. You can't keep forcing passes to him because you want to do what you got. I'm saying you want to do what you want to do. That's cool. That's why he's in Houston, and that's why Houston's in the position they're in right now. I don't have anything else to say about Houston. But
he's bringing up a great point. Kalani's bringing up a great point. I feel like Josh Allen this season is playing like, a weight, a burden has been lifted off his shoulders. He's playing free. And the point he made with like the everybody eats offense, I feel like the same thing goes with Washington, like how we spread the ball. You want to have an offense where you spread the ball because it makes it more fluid. It holds the defense accountable. You can force mismatches, all that type of stuff. And Josh Allen, he's doing his thing. My score prediction, I did say it's going to be a close game. I think Bo Nix will play relatively well, as well as you can in Buffalo with those crazy fans. It's going to be cold, all that. But I'm going to take the Bills to win. I'm going to go 34-31. 34-31. Bills. Actually,
pretty good. I mean, can I say
34-28? 34-28. That's more reasonable.
Can I say I feel like when it comes to the quarterback and wide receiver relationships, I think it's a tricky line to follow because like be honest with you, whenever they do class, it tends to be both sides tend to be right, but it's them finding that in between ground where a lot of other wide receivers and quarterbacks get tripped up because like you do have to get the ball to your star player, and whether or not I mean, when he's not hot, and he has to realize that. But when it's time to get him the ball, and you get him the ball, but that's a tricky thing. I do feel like it does look like Josh Allen looks better when he has that weight shifted off his shoulders and able just to do him. Some quarterbacks aren't, they operate differently, but I guess that looks like how he's gonna operate. But if I had to put my score prediction up, because honestly, I do think, I'm not gonna lie, I do think that the Broncos, they might have a shot. I'm not gonna lie. I know Bo Nix is a rookie quarterback coming in, but it's possible. I know Bo Nix can get a little sloppy sometimes and make some mistakes, but it's not like we've seen the quarterbacks win in playoff games. It's rare, but it does happen. I really it's definitely gonna be a hard fought battle, and I'm not gonna lie. Part of me is saying I don't think they're gonna win, but I'm gonna take something's telling me to go take the underdogs and go with Broncos. I'm gonna go. It's definitely gonna be a high scoring game because they got mad weapons on the offensive side of the ball, both sides, and with all the Bills being the offensive offensive force that they are, I feel like they're definitely gonna put up their numbers. I got it going to I might go 36-32. A weird score. But I just feel that's what I'm gonna go with it. And I'm gonna go with the Broncos coming out with that one.
Zaire, what you thinking?
I'm definitely on the side. It's probably going to be a high scoring game, but unlike everyone else, I think the Bills are probably going to win that one, and I hope they do win that one because I want the Ravens to play the Bills. Hopefully, just because I need it for plot. But I think definitely the Bills will win that one, and it'll probably be a high scoring game, like I said before. Now, my score prediction, I definitely think the Bills will be able to get into the 30-point range, but the Broncos will probably be in the 20-something point range. So I'm trying to think of all the scores, what can be a reasonable score. I mean, we had 34. I think definitely the Bills can get to 34 points. So 34, 34-28, like Tyra said before. So I'm trying to be reasonable with everything I do. So I definitely think that's probably going to happen. So,
Julian, what you thinking?
I definitely have Buffalo. 37. I'm going back and forth with Denver, either 37-24 or 37-27. I definitely think I don't believe a rookie quarterback can go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo. But I love Sean Payton, so I give them a fighting chance just because of Sean Payton. But outside of that, I can't see them walking into Buffalo and beating Buffalo. So Josh Allen's going to have this night, 3-something. He's going to put on the Superman cape, win the game, 37-24.
Dang, 37-24? All right, man.
Yeah.
That's a prediction that makes sense for this game. That makes sense.
If the Bills come in and drop 37 on that Broncos defense, bro, I'm telling you that Broncos defense, they gonna play hard, man. Benito,
and I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, they got dogs, man.
They do, and I'm not gonna lie though. I was just about to say, even though I did pick the Broncos, I just picked the Broncos to win. Well, you've seen what the Broncos look like against high-powered offensive. They win some, they lose some. Baltimore walked in there, and we took care of business, of course. Like we do. we was hitting our mid season stride. You know what I'm saying? We walked in there, King Jackson, MVP, putting up MVP numbers. But anyway, we've seen that they can be beaten. They can be beaten. And sometimes, so to me, like they're one of the better defenses in the league. But I'm thinking about like defenses, period. They're not really a defense. I'm like, oh man, like they're definitely going to be like one of those defenses where they got. It's like they're basically like legendary. When you think about like defenses, where you go, oh, like remember Seattle, the Legion of Boom, and all them defenses. I think they're good, but like I said, the defense can be beaten, and the Bills are a hell of a offensive. They have a hell of an offensive unit, so they're going to really test that Bills defense, and who knows if they're going to be able to stand up to that.
But this thing, I don't want people to think that I'm just being biased with the Bills or just think that the Broncos, they just suck, because they don't. I mean, they're a playoff team for a reason. But, I mean, when you look towards the end, they had to fight to get that 7th seed. I mean, Cincinnati, now if it was Cincinnati going to Buffalo, we're having a different conversation. I still think Buffalo will win, but it's going to be I'm going to go in that game scared because they have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase over there and T. Higgins.
The playoffs would have been so much more interesting. I really wanted the Bengals to get in there, man.
They would. The Bengals would have got in there.
If Cincy would have got in there, I wouldn't be as confident talking. I'm still gonna go with my guy, obviously my team, but I'm saying that very low. If the Bengals were in the playoffs playing against them, even with them going into Buffalo, that's just what it is.
I think if the Bengals were to get into the playoffs, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm a big Joe Burrow fan. Always will defend Joe Burrow to the death of me. I think if the Bengals would have got into the playoffs, it would have definitely shooken some things up, and it wouldn't have surprised me to see them in the AFC Championship game against Kansas City.
That's not crazy at all. That's not a crazy statement.
Possibly going to the Super Bowl. Possibly. No, I'm gonna say it. Going to the Super Bowl. They got Joe Burrow.
But the thing is with Cincinnati, I don't know if we can necessarily say that because we saw them play against playoff teams this year, and they didn't look good at all.
That's the thing. The most inconsistent thing is their defense. That's the problem. Yeah. They got a hell of an offense, but that's the problem. You cannot see. Like I agree because their players are. That just gives them. That's just how much praise they're gonna get because they're so talented on that offensive side of the ball that even though their defense side sucks, they can still be considered a playoff team that can go deep in the playoffs. That's saying something because without defense, your team in the playoffs is fried. I've never seen it. Like it's rare for a team with a terrible defense to really get far in the playoffs. Like because most of the teams once you're in the playoffs, you look around. All the teams, when you start looking around, like the deeper you get, the more you're gonna be like, all right, every team that is playing right now can put up 40 in the game if they wanted to. So, I think the Bengals definitely could have been one of those teams. Like I was thinking that I was like, wow, they could have went far.
I think only thing about the offense, I think that even though the defense is horrible, yes, but they still have one of the best pass rushers in the league. I'm hoping he hit the free agency market and my Commanders can snatch him up and Trey Henderson. But, I mean, they still have, a pass rusher. Yes, the defense is horrible. They just need to make enough plays where you just give Joe Burrow enough chances. I think he's going to make some noise. And if you think about it, Joe Burrow's the only quarterback in the AFC to actually beat Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead. So, of all the quarterbacks in probably the NFL, he's the only one that I trust that can go into Arrowhead and actually win in a playoff.
I mean,
not with that defense this year, not with that defense at all.
But before we get to the Vikings and the Rams matchup, lastly on this matchup, I would say that, or not even just this matchup, but like with the topic we were discussing with Joe Burrow and the Bills, all that, and the Bengals. If the Bengals were in the playoffs, and they faced the Bills, and they had to face the Bills rather than, the Broncos are in, I would say it would be a high-scoring game, but I would take the Bills too because I would say the Bengals' identity this season has been, okay, our defense not going to get it done, but we're just going to outscore you.
Mhm.
But guess what? There's been teams that are like worse, way worse than the Bills. Like, take my Washington Commanders. Our defense wasn't doing good against the Bengals. Their defense wasn't doing good. We outscored them. We won the game. So if you're just going to play, well, we're just going to outscore you. We're not going to, our defense is good. We're just going to outscore you. I don't think that works very well against Josh
Not how it
Allen.
works,
Like,
especially
he's
in the
just going to
playoffs.
keep pushing, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just going to keep going. And I don't see that. But
And
Quick
Moving-
question statement. I'm sorry, quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Statement. If I don't remember correctly, Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl, he didn't have a great defense. He still won.
It wasn't as bad as the Bengals. It wasn't as
Yeah,
bad as the
no,
Bengals.
that defense was a little bit more consistent. They still had
Yeah, it was
Chris Jones.
it wasn't a top defense in the league, but they were in the middle. They were a decent defense team.
See, the
But when
thing
you
I
have Patrick
always
Mahomes playing like that, you can find ways to win. The Bengals
Right.
have a terrible defense, one of the worst in the league. And if you're relying on Joe Burrow to go down the field every drive of the game and score in a playoff game, especially in a crazy atmosphere as the lowest seed in the AFC, that's
Mhm.
asking for too much. Asking for way too much.
And the thing about Patrick Mahomes is in the Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's you guys, if you guys can relate, but I realized in the past couple, like each Super Bowl he's been in, and I'm sitting there watching because I used to root for him. I mean, I still kind of like I don't hate the man, but I wear purple or bleed purple, so you know what I'm saying. I want my team to win, but I used to watch the games and I would call, and you can like if my dad ever comes back on here or whoever I watch these Super Bowls with come back on here, I used to call when defensive players would just step up. I kid you not, if you watch the Super Bowls, a certain player will step up and like last year I called Trent McDuffie stepping up in the Super Bowl, which he did. You know what I'm saying? So, and like before that, it was Snead and a couple other guys. Certain guys, the thing about their defense is when it's not spectacular, they find ways to, like, their guys come up and they step up. They have guys that step up and take that role. And
I'll say
not all
their
defenses
defense-
have.
I'll say their defense is spectacular. The Chiefs' defense is spectacular, bro.
It
Like
is.
Spagnuolo,
It is.
Spagnuolo got them boys playing hard every time, and he doesn't get no credit. Really, Spagnuolo should be a head coach right now, but I guess he's a little bit smarter than Eric Bieniemy. He said, "I'm going to stay with the championship team instead of risking my whole career on a team that probably will get himself fired." But Spagnuolo, he got the Chiefs defense is elite, bro. They got Trent McDuffie. They got Joshua Williams. I've been following him. He been a dog since college. He went to Fayetteville State. And, they got some dogs, bro, on that defense. Obviously, everybody knows Chris Jones. But, yeah, the Chiefs defense is elite. They are elite, bro. And they get overshadowed because it's all about Mahomes and Kelsey. But, the Chiefs team is an elite team.
Listen, the defense bailed them out a lot of games this year when Patrick Mahomes was nowhere to be found.
Let's not talk about bailouts when we talk about the Chiefs. That was literally their whole season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you can make an argument that's the case, but that's because of their defense. Their defense kept them in games.
Mhm.
They have an elite defense. But
Right.
They
going
do.
back to the topic with the Bills and Broncos, I'm gonna have to go with the Bills in a lopsided win. So I just don't think the Broncos are ready for the Bills.
Y'all ready for this Rams versus Vikings? This is where I'm about to get spicy, man. See, from here down, it gets spicy, okay? Here down, it gets spicy, okay? So we got the Vikings, we got the Rams. Obviously, we know, unfortunately, this whole California situation with the fires and all that stuff. I was really, really thinking in this game, I'm feeling an upset. I really am feeling like people are writing off the Rams. Dan Campbell, one of my favorite coaches, he was, the Lions beat the Vikings. He's talking to Kevin O'Connell. Hey, we'll see you in 2 weeks, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. I ain't hearing that, dog. I ain't hearing that. The Rams are going to win this game. They're going to win it for Cali. They're going to win it for the people out there that's struggling. They're going to put on for them people. That's how I feel. I watched Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford in their press conferences this week, how locked in they were, how committed they were. They look focused. They look like they're really trying to get this win for the people of California. And I know that they moved the game from Cali to Arizona. Yes, yeah. So I know that the Rams are technically the home team, but it's going to be neutral turf. But I'm going to roll with the Rams for the upset. Let me explain myself, because I can see Julian right now. He don't look like
I agree with you.
Oh, you do agree? Okay. Well, I'm rolling with the Rams. Let me explain. They have the better coach. Check one. They have the better quarterback. Check two. They have the overall, I'm taking their offense. Now, no, they don't have Justin Jefferson. Sure. Okay. Aaron Jones, you want to talk about him? I ain't worried about that, dog. I'll give me Kyron Williams every day. Kyron Williams is better than him, bro. And we want to talk about wide receiver, man. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, they're gonna do their thing, man. They're gonna do their thing.
Dogs.
Exactly, man. And the Vikings, they have a solid defense, but I just can't do it, man. I'm rolling with the Rams. I feel like they're really pissed off by the way that Coach Campbell kind of disrespect. It wasn't really intentional disrespect. It was more just friendly. We'll see you in 2 weeks. But I did see reports that they took that a little personally. Got the chip on their shoulder. They're gonna represent for Cali. They're gonna get this win. That's how I feel. And I got the score prediction for this game. Before I pass it off to y'all, score prediction. Let's go 20. Dang. Let me go 34 to 31 LA Rams.
Listen, I couldn't agree with you more, Tyrus. I'm gonna go with the Rams. Obviously, the Vikings are a really good football team. Listen, you have a top 2 receiver, arguably the best receiver in the game with Justin Jefferson. I personally would go with Jamar Chase as of right now for the better receiver. But Justin Jefferson, I mean, you can't go wrong with either or. I wouldn't be mad if you picked him over Jamar Chase. I mean, he's the top receiver in this league. He breaks records. He does what he has to do, double coverage, triple coverage. He's still going to find a way to be productive. But if you talk about team-wise, like Tyrus just stated, they have the Rams have the better running back. They have the better quarterback, and they have the better overall receiving core. Justin Jefferson, he's better than everybody over there. That's just, it is what it is. But the Rams, and like specifically, they have Cooper Kupp. Let's not forget that is a Super Bowl MVP from not too long ago. They paid him for a reason. He just has been injured. Puka Nacua. Let's not forget what he did his rookie year. Let's not forget what he was before injury. Let's not forget what he's done after he came back from that injury. I personally saw it up close because I saw what he did against the Bills, and I was very upset. And now we're playing great defense, and him and Puka are just making absolutely beautiful catches, him and Cooper Kupp. But in terms of who's going to win that game, I have to go with the Rams. Obviously, a neutral site, like Tyrus stated, in Arizona, due to the sad case of the LA fires and things like that. We do hope things get better over there. But I genuinely believe that the Rams are they're just a better team overall. Like the Vikings, they've had a great year. I can't say anything. Sam Darnold surprised a lot of people this year. It was supposed to be J.J. McCarthy's team. He went down. Sam Darnold stepped up. Everyone thought he was a bust. Everyone counted him out. He came in and he did what he had to do. He led that team to the playoffs. But let's not forget what Matthew Stafford is. Let's not forget that is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Let's not forget what Cooper Kupp is, a Super Bowl MVP. Puka Nacua, one of the best receivers in the league. Now, their defense isn't the best, but it's manageable enough to beat the Vikings. And I personally believe with Stafford, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua, it's going to be a high-scoring game because you got Justin Jefferson over there as well. But it's gonna be a shootout, but I'm gonna have to go with the Rams. I just think they're more prepared and they have more experience on the other end. Justin Jefferson, Sam Darnold, hats off to what Justin Jefferson he does every year. We know what we're gonna get from him. Sam Darnold, I think he definitely overexceeded the expectations. He definitely did because nobody expected him to do what he did this year. Vikings, great year. I'm gonna have to go 31-28 in the favor of the Rams.
Hey, be on the lookout for my guy on the Rams defense, Jacoby Durant. Hey, that's an underrated dog right there. I always shout him out, always post him and stuff like that. I've been following him since the South Carolina State games. But yeah, Jacoby Durant, he's a dog. He plays defense for that.
I've seen him make a couple plays. Yeah,
man, he's underrated.
He's a playmaker. Underrated.
Hey, I know people gonna take the edge. Of course, you're gonna take JJ. You're gonna take Justin Jefferson, but hey, he gonna give him a fight. He gonna play competitive, man. He's not backing down.
Julian, what you thinking?
I have to agree with both of you guys. I'm taking the Rams 35-32. I think I don't think the Rams are a better overall team, but I think when you have McVay and you have Stafford, a top 5 quarterback in the league that does not get the respect he deserves.
Top 5, I don't know about
I think
that
anything is possible. Just experience them doing it. Already have a bowl. You have Puka Nacua, you have Cooper Kupp, you have that rookie edge rusher, Jared. Forgot his name. I just think
Jared Verse.
You have a
Jared
chance.
Verse, yep.
Yeah, you always have a chance with
baller.
them. Like, they run a similar offense, but I'm just gonna take McVay, just being the young guru that he is. So yeah, always have a chance.
Zaire, what you thinking?
This is one that's definitely going to be an interesting one. I can say the first time when I saw the Vikings they were 10-2, and I was so shocked. I was like, "What in the world? The Vikings?" And because I really don't really pay attention to them, but until I saw that graphic 10-2 Vikings, I was so shocked, and then I was so surprised that they kept going and they were fighting for the for the 1 seed and all that stuff. So I think this game will definitely be interesting. I know we all probably want an upset. So, but I think this one is really kind of hard. It really is kind of hard. But I guess I can go with. I guess we can go with I'll just go with everyone else, the Rams, because I don't know. It's just this game is just very hard, and I'm like I kind of like the Vikings. They shocking me, but then again, I kind of don't trust them because I don't know. It's just very hard. It's very iffy. So, but I will go with it's probably going to be a high scoring game, especially because you have Justin Jefferson and then you have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua on the Rams. So it'll definitely be a high scoring game. I can see it definitely be in the 30 range, like 35 or 35, 31 in that range. So it's very, very crazy.
What you got, Jalen?
I'm gonna be that guy.
It's always Jalen. It's always Jalen.
Hey.
What? What do you mean?
It's always Jalen. He's gonna say the Vikings just like he said the Broncos. It's always Jalen.
No. Look, usually that's Tyrus. Tyrus loves picking the underdog. Let's see. It's not that like I disagree with anything I was saying. And I feel the fact I don't trust the Vikings, but at the same time, like if I'm looking at it, the Vikings. See, the thing about the Vikings, like we were just talking about with they were surprising everybody, and Sam Darnold having probably one of the best careers. Best seasons of his career in Minnesota right now. And Jefferson had a slow start to the season, but then started hitting his break midway and didn't look back. Arguably top 2. He's to me top 2 receiver in the NFL right now. I just think the difference maker here is I guess I'm just a defensive guy. I mean, to me, like when it's matched, I look the offense and offensively, it's pretty even. But once I go look at the defense, like against like pass yards wise, the Vikings are not good. I think they're like around last in the league right now.
Can we cut the chase? At the end of the day, I think you're picking the Vikings because of one reason and one reason only.
I want to see if you can guess why I said that.
Other than that, Yeah, their defense is solid. Okay. It's the playoffs, man. It's the playoffs.
I
Anything can happen, bro.
actually, yes, but no. You brought up Kyron Williams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree. I like his run style better than I like Aaron Jones' run style. But when I look, the Vikings are right behind the Ravens at second place against the run this season.
Let me just simplify it like this. Let me ask you this. Do you
Uh,
think this game will be close?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. In a
For sure,
close
'cause-
game. So basically what you're saying is in a close game, you're gonna take Sam Darnold over Matthew Stafford. That's what you're telling me.
Crazy thing to say.
I know,
That's
I know, it's crazy, but right now, I mean, let's be honest.
He just showed last week against the Lions all of that regular season stuff. When it came to the big game, Sam Darnold couldn't deliver, and that's the difference.
Okay,
Enough
look,
said.
Missed
here's what I'm gonna say.
all of those things. He
Here's
did
what I'm gonna
not play
say.
good.
I'm going to simplify it right now, right? Offensively, to me, I think they're both matched up pretty well, but the only thing I think that separates them is the Vikings defense, if they can be consistent. If Sam Darnold does not wet the bed and start seeing ghosts again, I have the Vikings winning this game. And like I said, that's if Sam Darnold does not wet the bed and it go back to Sam Darnold the old. So I would have, I think I have it being a close game though. I have it 28-34, I think. Vikings winning. I just
Okay.
I have the
You know,
Vikings.
I'm not even mad at your pick. I just think that, yeah, it's pretty even, it's pretty close. I just think that, like, bro, the Rams, they're a well organized team, they're well connected, they're well built, and
Mhm.
they're experienced, they're an experienced team. Like, going into this playoffs, I know a lot of Commanders fans who are like, man, I'd rather face Tampa. I don't want to see the Rams first round. Because me, shoot, I don't care, man. Bring us whoever. We coming. You feel me? But the Rams really are really a tough team. They're experienced, and I got
Oh
them
yeah,
for
no, they're definitely tough. And it's funny because I was watching them the other day and I was like, dang, like that reminded me of a season or two back when I was watching them, and I was just looking at how explosive and their offense is, and no matter what, like no matter who they really got up, I mean, they could they can be missing people and still do the thing, and that just goes to show how well coached they are. So props to the Rams. Don't get me wrong. The Rams have a really good chance of winning this game. Like I said, I don't really even trust the Vikings, and I feel like it'll be a close game. But I just something telling me that the Vikings, if Sam Darnold can, not wet the bed, I have the Vikings coming up with this one.
moving on to the next game. We got the Green Bay Packers versus the Eagles.
Oh,
And
I was waiting for this one.
like I told y'all, I'm gonna get spicy, real spicy, halal sauce spicy as it gets. Obviously we already know who the favorite is. The Eagles are the big dog, man. They're the big dog. They got Saquon, they got Jalen Hurts, they got AJ Brown, they got a super team. They got every reason to win the Super Bowl this year because they got
Devontae
everything,
Smith.
man. They're stacked.
Yeah. Don't forget that boy Devontae Smith.
Yeah, him too. Yeah, I forgot about that guy. Isn't Devontae Smith that guy who dropped that wide open pass versus Washington?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Devontae Smith, dog,
which was very rare, by the way. That's not. Don't act like he does that all the time.
I'm about to say that's
still a really good receiver in this league.
Yeah, I think that's not. Don't rely on something like that because it's just not common.
Yeah, even LeBron has gotten dunked on before. Even Jordan has missed the game. I mean,
Nah, bro, that's just AI, bro.
It happens.
That's AI. That's not real.
Nah, it's AI, yeah, for sure. But
yeah,
even the top players.
I was lagging a little bit.
You lagging?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're just lagging a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That man is frozen.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, I'll take over as host. Anyway, should we wait for him or y'all?
Yeah,
wanna-
nah, I think we should wait for him. Wait for him.
All right.
Definitely wait for him.
Can
There
y'all
you
hear
go.
me?
There you go.
That's better. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. You were saying?
Sorry about that, man. Hey, but no, I was just saying, like, I was lagging a little bit. Sorry about that, but no, man. I told you I'm gonna get spicy, so I'm gonna get spicy. And I was thinking about backtracking, but we don't backtrack. We gonna keep it going. So before the season, I picked my Super Bowl prediction was the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Green Bay Packers. And you know what? All odds and all whatever has happened, I'm disregarding it. You can say it's ignorance, you can say anything. I'm still gonna pick the Packers to win this game. And you know what? I'm gonna just roll with the Packers for the upset, man. I don't like the Eagles. They're a better team, of course. And you guys can tell I'm kind of being a little bit biased, but I'm gonna roll with the Packers. I think Jordan Love is the better quarterback. The Packers not only have the better quarterback, they have the better head coach. And I know Christian Watson's out. There's injuries, all that. But anything can happen in the first round. We saw last year the Eagles. I know A.J. Brown was out. They lost to the Bucs first round last year. The Packers, they weren't supposed to beat Dallas. They weren't supposed to beat Dallas last year, or I think that was last year. It was the year.
That was last year. Yeah, that was last year.
But hey, they did it. They got it done. Anything can happen. So I'm rolling with the Packers, dog.
Listen. I couldn't agree with you more. I didn't want to be that guy, that one guy thinking, all right, I'm just gonna be one to the Packers.
That's crazy.
At first, I was gonna say the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles, they have all the star-studded names over there. You got Jalen Hurts. We know what he can do. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You got, MVP candidate and Offensive Player of the Year candidate and Saquon Barkley, the best running back in the league currently. You think of all those names, you just think, all right, it's going to be rollover. But the Packers are one of the most underrated teams in this league. They are a really good team. You got Jordan Love balling. You got a well-coached Packers team, a pretty solid defense, and a pretty solid overall offense. I'm going to have to go with the Packers. I don't trust Jalen Hurts in the playoffs. I don't. I know he got to the Super Bowl about 2 years ago. I think that's when that was against the Chiefs. But I have more confidence in the Packers because I saw what happened last year with the Eagles. They went in pretty solid, and then they got embarrassed by Tampa Bay. And I saw, like you said, what the Packers did in Dallas, and they weren't supposed to do that. Granted, Dallas has a history of choking in the playoffs, but I'm going to go with the Packers. I genuinely believe
Every year.
Yeah, I genuinely believe the Packers have the ability to beat the Eagles. I think it's going to be a really close game. I genuinely think it's going to be a really close game, but I'm going to have to roll with the Packers. I don't trust Jalen Hurts. I don't.
The Packers have to force Jalen Hurts to make the big play because this is what people don't understand about the Eagles, man. Or some people do, some people don't. Some people are just blatantly ignorant about it. But the Eagles, they are one of those teams where it's like we said before, on our previous live when Jalen was on here, Zaire, I said it, I made it clear. The Eagles are one of those teams where they're built so well that it doesn't really matter who their quarterback is, and I'm standing on that. I'm not discrediting the player that Jalen Hurts is. I really do like Jalen Hurts. I want to see all black quarterbacks succeed, all that stuff. But you want the Eagles, man. I can't root for you too much, but I'm playing. But with Jalen Hurts, like if it's in crunch time and you're asking me who am I going to put my money down to make the big play if it's a close game and I got to decide who's going to make that big play, which quarterback is going to step up. If you're asking me Jordan Love or Jalen Hurts, of course I'm going with Jordan Love. I'm going with Jordan Love to make that big play. Jordan Love elevates his football team way more than Jalen Hurts elevates his. And
I couldn't agree.
People can feel how they feel about that. That's just the fact. And yeah, Christian Watson's out, but Packers are still going to play hard. It's going to be a close game. And my score prediction to wrap it up, or for what I'm saying, my score prediction is going to be I'm gonna go 31-28.
That's exactly what I was
Pat?
gonna say. 31-28. Exactly again in favor of the Packers. Exactly what I was gonna say. Yep.
Go Pat, go. Go Pat, go.
I got if I can say I got it. Look, see, that's the funniest thing. Like I never heard like a statement said that I agree with so much, but at the same time, like that's
You
the
gonna go with
reason.
Saquon?
Like, well, of course, but let me hear me out, right? I agree. Like, if I gotta check in a quarterback and I look in my pocket, I see Jalen Hurts, I'm gonna cry. If I see Jordan Love, I'm gonna feel a lot more better than if I see Jalen Hurts sitting in my pocket, because the fact that and like I do like seeing my my black quarterbacks succeed, and that's why I hope they do. I hope you do well, and all that. But the fact that the majority this year, and when I was watching the Eagles games, and I can say this because I was watching them, and the only reason why I was watching them was because of Saquon. I had him on my fantasy team, and I was trying to see how much points he was gonna put up. But anyway, I kept almost every time I tuned in, I was watching the Saquon show. They would throw it a couple of times and it wouldn't look good, and so they would just be like, "Freak it, give it to Saquon. He'll do something with it." And that was the majority of their offensive game plan this whole. And I'm not gonna. It was like they used Saquon as a backup safety, and it worked for them. But at the same time, what that did to me is like that made me not trust. Like honestly, I didn't really like. I was already skeptical about Jalen Hurts, but now after seeing that, I was like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is a quarterback. He's got he's got demons. He's got to fight. So when I think about it, to me, like and he didn't really even get started getting connected with his receivers till like around the end of the year. So if it turns into a quarterback show, I'm gonna have to take the Packers. But if the and I love, and not gonna lie, and I love the Packers roster. This is the game where they have two of the running backs I wanted last year, which is Saquon and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a heck of a runner. He runs hard every play.
Very underrated running back, by the way.
Great underrated running back. I love Josh Jacobs.
Give him the bulk of the carries. With Christian Watson out, they got to establish the run game. And
exactly. They still have Jaden Reed, but it's going to be easier for defenses to zero in on him because now they don't really have to like worry about the other guys. But that'll be cool if we get a surprise and we can get to see some backup, step up and fill that role. So we'll see. But I'm gonna have the I'm gonna have the Eagles because it's a tough team, it's a stacked roster. I'm gonna take the Eagles right now, but like I said, if it turns into a quarterback battle, the Packers are taking it. And
what's that score prediction? I'm curious to hear what that is.
Oh, the score prediction. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have it a little low because it's something about the Eagles. They can like I said, those teams could score. They could put up points, but I'm gonna have it like 17 14. Eagles up. Close game.
Zaire, what you thinking?
So as I've been sitting here, I've been thinking about like the Packers because I was so concerned because they were 1-5 in the NFC North, and I'm like, that's a little iffy, especially
tough division.
It's in a tough division, and then especially like, I guess the Bears game I won't really count that one because it's kind of the end of the season, so there's no point in fighting there for that. But the other games with the Lions and except for like one Lion game, but the Lions and the Vikings, it was like close. So I feel like the Packers can definitely put in a fight for this game, but do I have them winning? No, I think it's probably going to be the Eagles winning. I'm basically thinking since the Packers are probably going to put in a fight, I'm more of the 27-24 range in that area. It might not be the Eagles may not win by a large margin, but it will definitely be a close scoring game, and I'm going to go with the Eagles. And I mean, we just have to look at all the people that they have on their teams, and like AJ Brown, and of course Saquon Barkley, and then Devontae Smith. All these people, so all these offensive weapons. I think the Eagles would do good, and then also with their defense too. I think they'll.
Mm.
So, but I won't count the Packers, but still.
Julian, what you thinking, Julian?
I've gone back and forth with this. If you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, my answer would be different than it is now. As a Washington Commanders fan, a Washington DC sports fan, it pains me to say anything nice about Philadelphia and Philly sports fans and Philly in general. I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles, sadly. I just think they just have the overall better roster. They arguably have the best offensive line in sports. I think they're gonna dominate the trenches. Them big fat boys are gonna roll. They're gonna go. They got just both sides of the ball. They're just gonna dominate the trenches. But I do believe if it comes down and it's close to the fourth quarter, and you're asking Jalen Hurts to walk down, he's not gonna do it. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts enough. I remember Cam Newton said something about Brock Purdy. I think it was like last year. He's not a burst. He's not a burst driver. Yeah, game manager. I believe Jalen Hurts is a game manager, not a game changer. He will not alter your franchise. I think if you put Jalen Hurts on the Commanders are picking in the top 10. But we'll get to the Commanders later. But yeah, I have the Eagles 28-21. If it comes to a shootout, I'm gonna flip a pick to the Packers. But right now I have the Eagles.
Now what you said about Cam Newton brings me to our last matchup, the game of the playoffs. The game of the playoffs, folks.
That's not the game of the playoffs, but I get your Commanders fan.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sunday night for a reason, buddy. Hey,
Is anybody even gonna watch that game other than the Commanders?
It's gonna be one of the highest rated playoff games.
No, it will. It will definitely be a high rated playoff game. I just don't think that's the game of the playoffs right now.
It's the game.
Not gonna lie though, I was joking, but I'm not gonna lie. It's funny that we said that because like those teams that like we've been talking about high scores, but this game, this game is about to be
This is gonna be a high scoring game.
Yeah, this game is gonna be a high scoring for sure.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's not even that I'm being biased to Jaden. Maybe a little bit of it, But realistically, though, this is gonna be to me the most evenly matched playoff matchup in the first round. This is very, very even. Like quarterback is very, very even. Baker Mayfield, he's a dog. Now, of course, I'm gonna take Jaden. He's more talented. He's better, but the stats wise and the season that Baker has, we have to acknowledge that it's pretty even, right? Coaching wise, that's very even. That's extremely even. To be honest, the Bucs, they're favored for a reason, and it's not just because they're the home team. The Bucs are a solid team. They've been putting up points. They've been getting hot in this last stretch of the season, despite the fact that Chris Godwin hasn't been, he's been injured.
Same thing last year, getting hot. Yep.
Right, they get hot at the right time, and when it's playoffs, anything can happen. Baker Mayfield, he turns it on, of course, and obviously they beat us week 1, but I don't even want to reference that to too much. You can references, but not too much for me because it's like those were two different teams in week 1. Also, week 1, I'm not making excuses, but that was one of the hottest recorded games in a long, long time. It was a hot one, okay? It was hot. It ain't gonna be so hot when we go back to Tampa Bay on Sunday, and it won't be guys passing out and burning, need some hydration. We're gonna come in there, we're gonna be locked in. The Commanders gonna do their thing. We haven't had a playoff win since the year of 2006. I was 1 year old, so
wow.
I was a little guppy, but guess what?
I was like 3.
You said what?
So you was in Pampers when they got a playoff win.
Yeah, we was all youngins. You feel me? Last time the Commanders or the Redskins got it done, but that's okay because we gonna make history on Sunday night the world, the country is going to be watching Jayden Daniels. It's his time. It's his moment. And that's the difference. Don't get me wrong. Baker Mayfield, I like him. He's, you know, he has the swag. He got the white boy swag. He got some spice. He's solid. You know, he cool. But guess what? If you're asking me, if this game is close, give me 30 seconds on the clock. You going to take Baker Mayfield or you going to take Jayden Daniels? Enough said. Enough said. Jayden Daniels going to handle business, but here's some keys to victory that we really need to lock in on. And of course, I'm more focused on this game than any other games. I'm more focused on this one. You know, I've been studying all the stats, all the numbers, the teams, all that. The Buccaneers, they're really good at stopping the run, and that's going to be a problem. We have to really establish the run. These past few weeks, we've been getting cooked. We've been getting cooked at like giving up on the defensive end. We've been giving up a lot of rushing yards, and on the offensive end, we haven't been able to establish the run too well. And this is what's caused Jayden Daniels to run it up as far as rushing yards. You saw him against Atlanta. He broke the rushing record for a rookie quarterback. A lot of times he has to take off, run it a lot, and I think that's going to be the case this game as well. And one of his highest rushing games was against the Buccaneers, week 1. I think he's going to rush all over their defense, and he's going to do his thing. And I think I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm saying that because really our offense leaves him no choice but to do that. Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson, they're not elite running backs. Honestly, really though, if I'm the Commanders GM, our top priority in the draft is obviously we got DB, wide receiver. Those are top priorities. Listen, if Ashton Jonty's available, you take Ashton Jonty because our running back room is not good.
I'd get a DB if I were you guys. I'd get a DB. That for sure.
I would disagree with the focus of running back with the Commanders. Me personally, you do what y'all want with y'all picks. I'm not a Commander fan, but me looking at it, I'm like, I think running back isn't really y'all main concern. I see y'all running backs turn it on and off. It just all it is, you know, it may be a little inconsistent, but I've seen them do it. So I mean, you know, but that's
you want to be great at every position. You definitely do. But I feel like Brian Robinson he's a game manager. You know what I'm saying? He's not a Saquon or Derrick Henry. He's a Kyron Williams, Josh. He's not even a James Cook. You know what I'm saying? He's not there yet. I think he will be soon, but he's not there yet.
Stop it, dog. I don't lost all faith in
I mean, look. Look, it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Honestly,
the reason why I wouldn't necessarily make that the GM's main focus is because they're doing fine enough. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the DB is where you guys had like really like the most. I think you guys definitely need a DB more than a running back. A running back would be nice. Ashton Jensen would be nice.
I agree with you. I'm not even disagreeing with that. We probably need a DB and a wide receiver more. We probably need to address that more. Excuse me. We probably need to address that more than running back. Only reason I'm saying the whole Ashton Jonty thing, we need to address running back regardless, like maybe free agency or the draft. But I really do think that, of course, DB wide receiver comes before that. But really, though, next season, Adam Peters really needs to lock in on helping Jayden in the run game because what's the phrase we always hear? What's the best friend of a rookie quarterback? Defense, run game. Defense, run game. Our run game is not good. It's been putrid these last few weeks. I think last week, I think last week B-Rob had like 10 yards. Austin Eckler had like maybe 14 or 20 between that range. Like it was putrid, man. It was putrid, and it's crap. You know, quite frankly, I know that the running back coach has had them. You know, he's a solid coach, but he needs to, get in their ear, tell them to lock in. I'm more so concerned with B-Rob than Austin Eckler because he had that concussion. He's coming back. He's getting back in the groove. But really, Brian Robinson, before I give my score prediction, Brian Robinson has to lock in this game. I saw him in his press conference. They were interviewing him, talking to him. He's like so excited to be in the playoff game. He's making his posts on social media, playoff ready, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, all that stuff don't matter. When we get to Tampa Bay, you gotta turn up, man. Because 10 yards, it ain't gonna cut it. We need him to do something, man. Because he's out there playing like I know he's banged up, but he's looking real slow, rusty. We need him to lock in. Marshawn Lattimore versus Mike Evans. That's gonna be fun.
Man, you know Mike
I know
Evans gonna
Lattimore
have
got
that.
the hamstring though. But score
To kind
prediction.
of add to the Brian Robinson thing, I'm sorry, I
Yo,
just had to
every
go ahead.
time they meet, they just can't help it but like throw hands. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Julian, what were you saying?
To add to the Brian Robinson thing, as a Commander fan that's watched every second, every game, I feel that he's not hitting the holes necessarily. He doesn't have the vision to hit the holes. Like he's just stagnant. If the hole's not right there in front of his face, he's just like, what is he? He can't see the hole. He has no vision.
Yo, Julian, his
That's
vision
one
like
thing
us,
about
bro.
Brian Robinson. He doesn't.
Julian, he got bad vision like us, dog.
And he
You got
doesn't
bad vision
have
like
the
us,
break
man.
speed. So like the idea, like I get it. Yes, running back is not a number one concern, but whoever that first round pick is has to hit, regardless of the position. It can't be we can develop. We don't have time for that. Like we need somebody now. To go back to the DB, yes, we do need a TB. I believe Adam Peters will sign Tre'Davious Ward from San Fran. Doesn't want to be in Cali for traumatic reasons. We have the money. We have over $90 million to throw at anybody. So
Let's get DJ Reed.
We got that bag. So yeah, kind of to go back to that. But I get into the deeper analysis of this game once my pick comes up.
Yeah, for sure.
What's that score prediction?
So score prediction for me, so many factors in this game, so many storylines. I know that man, Jaden, he's gonna come in, do his thing. Baker Mayfield, I think he has a chip on his shoulder because of the fact that Jaden is a Pro Bowler and Baker is not. That was a whole, people was talking about that. Baker gonna come in, he gonna do what he do. Okay, I can't lie. Our defense, I'm not very confident right now. I'm not, because we struggle against the run. Bucky Irving, dog, he does what he's doing. He does his thing. Probably the best.
You don't trust St. Thomas or St. Jude, whatever his name
Get that
is.
man off my scene. No lie, get him off my scene.
Oh yeah, that too. That scares me too. St. Juice. Every time he steps foot on the field, him and Mike Davis, I really, really, really have to sit there and take deep breaths, because my heart be racing. I just know that the ball, like pre-snap, I'm like, okay, they're going to target him. Because it's a flag every time. Those guys draw flags so many times, and it pisses me off. It gets on my nerves because I think to myself, every time I see them on the field, I'm like, Stephon Gilmore was a free agent and you guys didn't sign him. Stephon Gilmore was a free agent, but you guys were confident in these two guys to be on your football team. Is unacceptable to me. I mean, I get it. This year for us, we're just happy to be in this moment. This was a see what you have year, so it wasn't really trying to go all in, but still, score prediction wise, I'm going to take Washington Commanders to get their first playoff win since 2006 and win this football game. I'm going to take them to win this football game. Man, I'm going to go. I'm going to go 37-34. Washington Commanders go into Tampa Bay and they get their W.
I can agree with that. Just to piggyback on what you were talking about, the defense, I mean, I did watch a couple of Commanders games, and not gonna lie, sometimes I had to change the channel because I'm like, what is going on? Because with the team I was watching, because I was like, and then a few times I was getting nervous when I was checking, especially when we all went against the Eagles, because that was so nervous. But of course, we know Jaden Daniels, of course, comes in clutch towards the end, and then I'm just looking at St. Juste, and I'm just like, oh my God, the way you're describing him, he reminds me of Brandon Stevens.
I was gonna say the same thing. Oh my God!
Oh my God! I'm getting World War II flashbacks every time I'm seeing him, and then I'm reminding because you're talking about he's gonna get they're gonna they're gonna go. The wide receivers are gonna go towards his direction, and he's gonna end up getting a flag, and they're gonna say,
"Oh my gosh!" Either that or a highlight on his head.
Yes. So I'm a little concerned with the Commanders' defense because I want the Commanders to win. I want Jaden Daniels to win. I want my father. He's a Commanders Redskins fan, so I want him to be happy. So I can definitely say it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm going to go with like 34-31 in that range. So I just hope the Commanders get it done.
I'm with you because I think it's going to be high scoring because to be honest, both defenses, you got captains, you got some guys who, been around, they do their thing, Levante David, Bobby Wagner, all that stuff. To be honest, the DBs on both sides, I'm confident, man. I'm confident that Terry will do his thing. Last time he played the Bucs, he did get a little locked up, but then again, it was week 1 before we really got, things rolling, things kicking. Give me Terry. Man, give me Terry over 50 yards. Give me Terry over 50.
Listen, I'm gonna have to go. I know you and Zaire said Commanders. I'm gonna have to go Tampa Bay. But before I explain why, I want to make sure that there for me, there's no hate for the Commanders. I know I joke a lot because we're in the Maryland area, a lot of Commanders fans. Obviously, I just like to my team is all the way in New York, so it is what it is. But I believe that Jaden Daniels has had an amazing year, and you can't get a better rookie year than what he's had. I mean, like I said, him and Bo Nix. I mean, I believe Jaden Daniels is a step above Bo Nix. Obviously, rookie of the year, whatever the case may be, he's broken records. I think the Commanders have their quarterback for the future. I think that's pretty obvious. But I do believe that Tampa Bay has the slight edge. My score prediction, I'm going to go 34-31 in favor of Tampa Bay. But I believe it's going to be a high-scoring game because, look what Jaden Daniels has been doing all year. He's been producing points all year. But I'm going to say this. Baker Mayfield has had a top-5 quarterback season this year. I'm not saying he is a top-5 quarterback, but he's had a top-5 quarterback season this year. 40-plus touchdowns, and it's not even being talked about. He went from being hated on from the Panthers and even the Browns, and oh my God, Baker Mayfield, he's garbage, he's a bust, whatever the case may be. And look what he's doing now, 40-plus touchdowns. I don't think a lot of people realize how hard that is as a quarterback in the NFL. That's a tall task. 40-plus touchdowns from a guy who was counted out not too long ago. He produces points on most of the drives. You still have Mike Evans down there. You still have a pretty good coach. You have a pretty solid rush defense. They're not the best, but I believe it's going to be a shootout. And what I want to say is this: I don't believe that Week 1 game. I don't think it's going to be anything like that game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout in favor of Tampa Bay at all. I believe that Washington. I don't even want to talk about that Week 1 game because Washington's a much better team that I see now than from what I saw Week 1. That was Jaden Daniels' first game. You can't really expect much from rookie his first game of the season. So I believe from that game all the way to the playoffs, round 1, wild card game, I believe that Jaden Daniels will play pretty well. I do believe he will play pretty well, but I'm going to go in favor of Tampa Bay, 34-31. I just believe the experience that some of those guys have, some of the vets on defense. You got Mike Evans. We know what he's going to do, another 1,000-yard season. We know what Baker Mayfield's going to do. Look what he did last year. Look what he's doing this year. I just believe that it'll be a high-scoring game in favor of Tampa Bay. I definitely believe I will put my trust more with Baker Mayfield than I would in Jaden Daniels as of right now. Jaden Daniels, outstanding year, though, of course, but I'm going to have to go with Tampa Bay.
I feel you. I feel you, dog. Hey, they're favored for a reason. They're favored for a reason. They got the vets, they got the experience, all that stuff. But and Baker, he's experienced. He's been there. He's done that, of course. But I just think that when it comes to those big moments, man, Jaden Daniels, he's gonna find a way. He's going to find a way. And I think that they're pretty locked in this week. I've been, I always keep up with the press conferences, and I always keep up with the, just the interviews and all that type of stuff with how they're looking, how's the demeanor. I've seen the reporters asking Jaden, like, how do you feel about the fact that, you guys, last playoff win for the Washington was 2006. You know what he said? He said, I'm just focused on winning on Sunday. That's all I care about. I just want to win on Sunday. He not worried about what we talking about right now. He not even worried about that, because what I love about this team, they're breaking records. They're doing all this thing. A first 11-win season since 1991. They asked the coach. They asked Dan Quinn. He's like, we're worried about this team right here. We're worried about next week. We're worried about our next game. They're not even worried about all that stuff, and I like that they're focused. I think both teams are focused. But Jalen, what's your thoughts, man? What's your prediction for this matchup, dog?
It's a tough one for me. That's probably one of the toughest ones for me to pick out of all the games.
It's even, yeah.
They're pretty even. I feel the St. Juice situation as we were just talking about because we have a player just like that, Brandon Stevens. I don't want to give it off like I hate the guy. I don't hate the guy. I hope that he fixes it. I would like him to turn it around. But I know what that, kind of does to your defense. It can take the wind out of sails, especially when you see a penalty flag after a big stop, and you're like, oh my, like that could take some wind out of sails. That could definitely affect it defensively. But thank goodness we're not looking at this game for defense. We're looking at it for offense. I have it going, let's see, 28-31 Redskins. I have Redskins coming up with this one because like, don't get me wrong, Baker Mayfield is having a heck of a year, and I honestly wish that he was able to get more recognition for what he's been doing recently, because it is a big jump. I mean, if you like, a lot of quarterbacks are coming up this year, showing out, proving people wrong. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, a couple guys like that. We have a couple guys in the NFL right now that's showing out, or they were written off. And they came up and showed face. But I think when you have yes, he's a rookie. But when you have a running quarterback like that can throw the ball and make plays like that, I mean, it means I even know that changes the game because it opens up so much. When you're a defender, you got to worry about all that. It beats on you. So I just think that playmaking that Jaden Daniels has for a rookie, it's kind of scary to see him like this far along, this early. The sky's the limit for him, but I just think that's going to be I think that's going to be too much for the Bucs, and they got guys. Don't get me wrong. Offensively, I think they can hang, but I just have the Commanders coming up with this one, just barely within the score.
Ooh. As a Commanders fan as well, all my life, I've seen this team fail for 23 years. Definitely the greatest season I've ever experienced as a fan of this team. The keys to the game for this team to win, they have to establish the run in any way. I think you need to run the ball around 30 times a game. I think if I'm Cliff, I'm taking Austin Eckler over Brian Robinson. He's getting the bulk of the touches. Our running backs, Rodriguez, I'm allowing them to get the bulk of the carries over B-Rob. As I said before, he has no vision. He can't see a hole to save his life. So we must establish the run and try our best to stop the run. I'm kind of getting tired of Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. This is your game to step up. Please step up. We are paying both of you guys like damn near $90 million. Please step up. Please step up. Like, please make a play. Jesus,
Literally,
make a play.
bro.
God, dog, make a play, dog. Like, make a play. Like, make a difference. Like, y'all make a play and y'all actually dominate. This is not a ball game to me, but I need them to make a play. We also, as a defense, have to force turnovers. we have to get the ball back to our quarterback. We got to give it back to Jaden and give him as many chances as he can to go down there and score. We can't not turn the ball over and not give him chances. Like, we have to give him as many chances as we can. As an offense, I believe we have to control the line of scrimmage as much as we can, control the clock. We need like 10-minute drives. Like, I need Cliff to be in his absolute bag. Like, I need bag work. Like, I need the ball all damn game. Like, 10-minute drives, 15-minute drive. I need a whole quarter. Like, I don't want them to have the ball. I don't trust our defense.
I'm not even worried about the offense, man. I'm worried about.
I'm not worried about the offense.
I'm worried about the defense, man.
Yeah.
I'm
The
doing that
offense,
more.
85
So,
he's gonna do what he's gonna do. The defense, it's been, I don't know, it's been spotty. But the offense, I mean, JD5 gonna do what he's gonna do, and that's me
I
coming from a
agree
Bills
with
fan.
that,
He's gonna do what he's gonna
but
do.
our defense is not great. I need him to ball control. I need us to stay on the field. Like, I need
I see what you're saying.
to
Yeah,
prevent the
Yeah.
defense from fucking up, essentially.
that's the way we have to help the defense. Yeah,
That special teams, like, it's gonna take all three phases of the game. Again, I believe Jaden is gonna have to be Superman once again, but I absolutely believe that he will do it again. I have the score 31-28. Jaden walks down once again, he does it again. Walk down, Tampa Bay. Terry, slant, same route, boom, touchdown, game over. Commanders win.
I like it.
Not mad at it at all. Not mad at that at all.
Yeah, man. It's one of those games that's gonna be very even. I'm so hyped for this game, man. Like, I wish I could see this game right now, man. I'm so hyped. But
A lot of good football this weekend.
it really is.
It's gonna be so much, and it's so spread it out. Like, I was just looking at the times, and I'm over here trying to map out how I'm gonna watch these games. This is a start weekend. Did we already talk about Did y'all talk about the Chargers Texans before I got on?
Yeah, we did talk about the Chargers and Texans, and
I think we covered. I think we covered every game. I think, didn't we?
Yeah, we covered every game. I got I had the list right here, but
Okay.
I'm rolling with the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers. I think everyone here.
Chargers.
Chargers.
I'd be nice to see CJ Stroud win in the second playoff game, but I don't see it. I got Chargers coming up with that one.
Definitely the Chargers. But yeah, definitely a lot of good football for this weekend.
Yeah, to close it up, I mean, we got to get to this discussion because I know you guys were talking about it in the beginning. I mean, we got the picks out the way, but when we really get spicy,
right.
who is the MVP this season? My personal opinion.
I'll go last. I want to make sure I'll go last. I want everybody so I can just.
I already know, man. You gonna tear it up, though.
All right, go ahead. I'll go last. Go ahead.
Yeah, I already know he on fire, man. I already know.
I'll go just before him. So everybody else.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We gonna leave the fans of the teams of the players that's actually in this race, because unfortunately the NFL doesn't think Jaden Daniels should be in the race. Because let's be honest. Let's be honest. Jaden Daniels should be in the MVP race. Look, did y'all see that? The president or the president-elect, whose name won't be said on here. I'm not trying to get into all that politics stuff, but even he said that Jaden Daniels should be in the MVP race. Did you? I saw that, and I'm like,
I don't think you want to refer to him.
I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not. I just believe
Jaden really should be, in my opinion, he really should be in the MVP race, but because he's a rookie, it's you know how that goes.
It's tough because CJ Stroud was in the same position last year. It's tough. I mean, he took the Texans to the playoffs when they had no business really being there. Stroud was playing really great for a rookie. But I just believe. Yeah, I just believe. I believe Jaden Daniels, his rookie year is better than Stroud's rookie year. That's just my personal opinion. But I personally feel as if he hasn't. He's going to be an MVP one day, 100%. But I don't think he's had as much impact or as much value. And I hate to say that because I feel like I'm diminishing the other guy when I really don't even mean it like that. But I just don't believe Jaden Daniels deserves right now to really be in the conversation with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and even Saquon Barkley with his different positioning. I feel like those three guys, they're at a different level right now in this game. Jaden Daniels is up there. For me, Jaden Daniels is the top 5 quarterback. He is, even as a rookie, he is. But listen, Mount Rushmore for a reason, top 2 heads for a reason. There's the top dog for a reason. I don't believe he's the top dog yet. Not yet. I think you have to right now for quarterbacks after this year, you have to go through Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. They're on a different level right now, and they're playing different. They're playing a lot of different football right now compared to a lot of quarterbacks in this league. But C.J. Stroud. So excuse me. Jaden Daniels, he's gonna get MVP one day. He is. I love Jaden Daniels. For real, look what he did with the Commanders program or their organization. He's a great quarterback, top 5 quarterback. But I just think let's slow our rolls a little bit when it comes to comparing him, putting him in the race with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. But yeah, definitely a great player. I see why you want to put him in the race, but just not there, not yet.
I'm again biased, but Commanders fans are gonna hate me. But I would rather see Jaden Daniels get. To me, he is the MVP. What he's done for this franchise, for this city, like being an impoverished team, an impoverished franchise for 30 plus years. And this little beacon of light has taken a team that was 4 wins to 12, something I never thought I would ever see in this uniform. He is the sole reason we are 12 wins. Do not tell me about no other players. He did it by his damn self. I am sorry. Nobody has had a rookie season the way he has.
Say that, bro.
The only reason people don't want to give him a vote is because he is a rookie, not because he actually doesn't not deserve it. If you think about the definition of what MVP is, most valuable to your team, he is the MVP. I am sorry.
He's not. I'm sorry. He's not more valuable to his team than Josh Allen is to the Bills, who literally accounts for the. And this is a factual stat, by the way. Josh Allen accounts for 80% of the offense, which is the highest rating quarterback in terms of offensive productivity.
They go to Josh Allen glaze. All right.
I mean, that's what it is. That's not my stats.
I want to see him beat Patrick Mahomes.
Those aren't my stats. That's the NFL stats. I'm just reading to you what the NFL.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did hear some crazy things we said about Josh.
That's the stat. That's the stat. But at the end of the day, Jaden Daniels, he's turned the organization around, but I just don't see how he's more valuable than Josh Allen. You can make an argument that not a better player, but you can make an argument that he's a little more valuable than Lamar, a little bit, because Lamar does have a lot of heads over there where he can rely on. You can make an argument.
Baltimore organization. Y'all been stable for my 23 years of life.
Yeah. Hold on. Without Lamar Jackson, we are not doing half the stuff we were doing this year.
I'm not hearing none of that. Because
no way. You can put up. Hold on. There's no way we can put up. No.
You had Tyler Huntley in the playoff game against the Bengals, and y'all competed.
And we lost.
We lost. Lamar carrying our team. We got like 8 or 9 wins.
All right, hold on. Come on. You're telling me. Hold on. You're telling me. All right, hold on. All right, now I'm about to go earlier than I was planning on going. You're gonna sit here and tell me that Lamar Jackson, this quarterback that is putting on a display, an absolute clinic. I have never seen such clean quarterback play from a dual threat quarterback. He will run the ball. He will throw the ball. It doesn't matter what you do. You are not stopping Lamar Jackson. And that right there is why he's the MVP. That is why. Hold on. Let me tell you about this. Yes, the Ravens. I've been a Raven fan since birth. We usually are just a solid team, but I kid you not, we are not looking like this without Lamar Jackson. This record would have been way worse. We would have been under the Steelers by a margin. We would have been fighting with the Bengals for a playoff spot without Lamar Jackson at most. Lamar Jackson puts this team. He makes this team a Super Bowl contender. Without Lamar Jackson,
think about what you just said. Think about what you just said.
Unbiasedly,
You just said, think about what Jalen just said. Without Lamar Jackson, you'll be fighting for a playoff spot. Y'all will most likely still be in the playoffs or fighting for a playoff spot. Take Jaden Daniels away from the Commanders, it's a lottery
We are
pick.
the number one
Take
pick.
Josh Allen away from the Bills, they're a lottery team. I'm not hearing none of that. I'm sorry,
Right.
I can't.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said at most, because this is what the Ravens do, right? And I was sick of this because before Lamar Jackson, we had Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco was great. Don't get me wrong, but once we got to that point in his career, we couldn't get no good receivers. We had like a retiring Steve Smith, and he was walking out the door. We were not looking good. We were not looking good, and there was a whole year we completely just missed the playoffs, which is uncharacteristic for us. Like, so we was like, yeah, this is, and not to knock Joe when he was playing, because he was doing his thing, but I'm telling you, that's the thing about Lamar Jackson. He doesn't just he doesn't just make our team great. He makes our team like that Super Bowl contender. He is that guy that when you see walking on the field on the opposite side, like you see him walking on the field, you're like, gosh dang it, bro. You're gonna look up and you're gonna see your team losing like 3-41. That's the type of score you're looking at when you got like an opposing quarterback like Lamar Jackson walking on the field. And what that does to other teams is it means something, because I honestly, if you take that fear away from a lot of other defenses this year, honestly, we might have a way worse record than I'm even giving credit for. But I
get you. I understand you. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm thinking this way. Okay, the MVP race. In my opinion, you got Lamar, you got Josh Allen, you got Saquon, and obviously, I would really like to see Jaden in the top 5, but obviously he's not going to be in there. But really, in the MVP race, it's always going to be a quarterback award, because the value of a quarterback is greatly important and it elevates the team. But when we get into the top guys, because at the end of the day, Jaden's not winning the MVP, neither is Saquon Barkley. This is a 2-man race at this point. It's Lamar and it's Josh Allen. And unfortunately, I was thinking about this. Unfortunately, the MVP award is a regular season award. I would like to see them go a little bit in the playoffs to see if that kind of affects the race.
I would too.
I really would like that.
Because I think that kind of plays into that, that MVP award, that definition of what an MVP is, that plays into that. You playoff wins.
They've already put in their votes, so it can't go through.
Oh, the votes are already in?
Yeah, some of them already cast.
Okay.
Dan Orlovsky went on Pat McAfee said. Pat McAfee show and said he's put in every race except I think like Coach of the Year. But Dan Quinn should get Coach of the Year as well. But we're not gonna go to that either.
They got Pat McAfee voting for this stuff?
No, it's Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky's voting, yeah. And I think
okay, well we know
somebody
on Josh Allen.
Somebody on McAfee's show is voting. I don't remember who it is. I don't really watch the show. I just started watching.
Yeah, I think it was on Pat McAfee's show. Tyrus, who's your vote, or who's your MVP and why? Let's get to the something.
Okay. Yeah, so it's so tough, man. It's really tough for me, bro, because I really like both players. I really like Lamar. I really like Josh Allen. But like I said before Jalen came on, I said Lamar's my guy. I'm rolling with Lamar for MVP. And it's not even just bias. It's really just the fact that let's sit down and take this hypothetical situation into account. Take Lamar, take Josh Allen. If this award was both 0-0, neither one has MVPs. This is going to be the first MVP for both. It would easily go to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has surpassed Josh Allen in literally every stat line. And get this, guys. He beat him head to head. And it wasn't close. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah. Lamar Jackson is the most valuable player in the NFL this season. He should be a 3-time MVP. And if it goes to Josh Allen, I wouldn't be mad. But I know my opinion. I'm rolling with Lamar. I'm about to get flamed, y'all.
I'm gonna go next.
This man Kalani,
he's gonna be holding up.
Okay,
He's gonna build up.
okay,
Go ahead.
For me, it's probably is Lamar, but I'm gonna shed some light to a player. I know people not gonna like this. Joey B out there in Cincy, carrying that team and damn near putting the fear of life in Kansas City and a lot of these teams in the playoffs. If he would have made it again, I think it would have got hot at the right time. But
So Joe Burrow's MVP, Julian?
I'm giving it to Lamar because he's in the playoffs. I can't think you can give somebody that's not in the playoffs the MVP. But if he would have made the playoffs, 100% I'm giving it to Joe Burrow, without a doubt. Like I said, I'm a Joe Burrow fan.
So you don't even have Josh Allen at 2.
They're like tied. Like they're tied.
He's sticking his head over there.
They're tied. Like if you okay, let me say it like this: if you're gonna make me choose Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, I'm taking Joe Burrow all day, 100%. I'm taking Joe Burrow over damn near every quarterback in the league outside of Jaden Daniels, just because he's younger and he's my quarterback. But
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Joe Burrow is not gonna have a game with several TD passes, several rushing touchdowns. Like Josh Allen, when his superstar activation comes on, you know what I'm saying? When his X factor is activated, it's scary, bro. It's scary.
One thing,
look, you can make the case that Joe Burrow, when he played against us, his X factor got turned on. And we weren't scared, bro. We still won the game.
I'm going to keep harping on this one thing that nobody can take away. Lamar fans, Josh Allen fans, Joe Burrow's the only quarterback to go into Arrowhead and beat Mahomes. Nobody else has done it but him. Like, the only player to actually beat Mahomes is Brady.
There is context.
So, like,
there's context behind all of those things, though. It act like
It was just Joe Burrow that did it himself. Joe Burrow's defense stepped
Joe
up.
Burrow's team was horrible. Did you see the team defense
stepped up. Joe Burrow's defense stepped up that entire game. Forget about the offensive line for a second. His offensive line was terrible. His offensive line is basically terrible every year. Whatever the case may be, Joe Burrow's great. Joe Burrow's Cincinnati's defense that game played
great, first of all. And second of all, I'm not hearing none of that. He wanted to Arrowhead did what he did because at the end of the day, Josh Allen has outplayed Patrick Mahomes in basically every matchup in the playoffs, but it's his defense. Everybody knows about the 13-second game. Let's be for real. You can't play better than that.
You can't play better than how Josh Allen played. It's his defense.
So just because one ends up getting the win, there's context behind those wins. You're right at the end of the day. In about 10 years, nobody's going to see, 13 seconds, whatever the case may be. They're going to see an L or a W.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. But everybody in here watches the games. You can't possibly tell me that Joe Burrow is more valuable than Josh Allen. I just can't. You couldn't even get a team into the playoffs.
Take Burrow off the team.
Let's talk about it.
Take Burrow off the team.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you just said. Let's talk about what you just said. Let's talk about what you just said. You just said nobody. You just said what I just said. It's going to be shown as a win or a loss. What are we going to see in 5 years from now? Joe Burrow played great this year, but it's going to be shown that he couldn't get his team to the playoffs. So if he really, they're going to be seen. Is he really that valuable?
I said Lamar was MVP. I said Lamar is MVP. But if he made the playoffs, I'm giving it to Burrow.
Honestly,
based on what he did with the horrible defense that y'all told me all.
I gotta say for sure. I'm not gonna lie. What Joe Burrow did this year, it's nothing less but amazing. It's spectacular. But but this year, I don't like. I'm sorry. It is what it is. The team he's on was not. The record's not good. It's horrible. It's look. That is what it is. He's on the team, and the record this year was terrible. So that itself ended up. It's not his fault, but it booted him out the race. And it just is what it is. And it put him on any other team, or put him on a team with a good record. Yeah, but at the same time, maybe this earns him another award in a different category. But MVP, I don't see it.
We can't even look. I get it. It's bad for Joe, the defense, all that type of stuff. And you could, I heard Richard Sherman saying they should give it to Joe Burrow despite his team's record. And honestly, that's not a bad idea. I would like to see an MVP race, irregardless of playoff, team record, all that stuff. That'd be cool. but it's not reality.
can't.
So
But you
in
can't.
reality,
Right.
I really do think that Josh Allen definitely is more valuable than Joe Burrow. And if you give me the choice, that's obviously really tough. But like, let's not act like Joe Burrow just has this terrible team. Like, woe is me. Like, he has one of the greatest wide receivers in NFL history, regardless of how bad his defense is.
Too talented.
If you give Jaden Daniels, let's just do this. If you give Jaden Daniels that defense and you give him Jamar Chase too, we have more than 12 wins. We have more than 12 wins. Dog, people
don't realize that. Give
4.
Jaden Daniels Jamar Chase. Give Josh Allen Jamar Chase. Heck, even give Lamar Jackson Jamar Chase and see what's gonna happen.
Like,
it's gonna be the same thing.
Like, and you're saying his defense sucks. I get that, but dude, you got Trey Hendrickson, who's a superstar player. I know he only plays one position, but still, like, look at the Bills' defense, right? They got They got Matt Milano, and that's about it. Who else do they really have that's elite?
Think about it. Let's because
Lamar Hamlin.
Sitting there talking about Buffalo being this great defense and you having this defense.
Buffalo is a great defense because of our defense coordinator and because it was next man up. Our
it
guys
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why your defense is good. Your defense is good. Like, I can't sit here and say
I'm
like,
not
oh,
hearing
the
none
defense
of the things y'all are saying. I'm not hearing none of that because before the season started, we were predicted to be not third in the AFC, third in the division behind the Jets and the Dolphins. I'm not hearing none of those things.
Had them.
Everybody was saying, everybody was talking all that smack. Everybody
was first
talking all
to
that
second,
smack.
really, though.
When Jordan Poyer
Let's not do that now.
Okay.
All right, that's cool. When Jordan Poyer left, it was, defense sucks. When Micah Hyde was gone, the defense sucks. We got rid of Tre'Davious White, the defense sucks. Matt Milano was hurt, the defense sucks because you're thinking about all names.
I thank you for Tre'Davious White, by the way. That was nice.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't even mention T. Higgins.
That's what I'm saying. Another star receiver. Like
that's why I said. I said you got T. Higgins.
Joe Burrow has the luxury right now of not having to elevate his responsibilities. Where guys like there's been situations where Josh Allen really, if you want to talk about the top quarterbacks as far as elevating their team value, it's really like no diss to Lamar, no diss to Joe Burrow. Give me Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. Elevating their teams. Those two, I'm not gonna lie, they might be outmatching everybody. When it comes to elevating,
they make Jaden Daniels and Josh Allen has made their teams look better than what they were supposed to be.
Like, who even is the Bills wide receiver one? Oh, that's right. They traded for Amari Cooper, but mind you, Amari Cooper, I know he was solid. You know what I'm saying? I think at one point this season he led the league in drops. Okay, Amari Cooper is not.
Yeah, he's battling like a wrist injury.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He still got to catch the football. Dog.
What's wrong with you, brother? The man's wrist is hanging off. Like, that is hard, bro. That is definitely difficult.
You still got to catch the football.
Bro, that is hard. So I'm not gonna lie, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, his job is to catch the ball, but like, when you battle an injury like that, then that's expected that you're gonna do that. You probably are gonna have a lot of, especially when it's like has to do with your hands in general. Like, my dog, give my dog a little break. Amari Cooper he's gonna come back this year.
So all y'all MVP picks is Lamar, basically, is what I'm hearing.
Well, we didn't finish that. They're supposed to be talking.
I'm sorry, I had like two questions, and this is like for the Ravens fans and like for Buffalo. What would another MVP do for Lamar's legacy? And that's another question. And then the second question is, then I should hear no excuses from Buffalo. If the defense is top 10, if Josh Allen is putting on the Superman cake, which I'm agreeing he is, then I don't want to hear no excuses into why Mahomes does it again and do it again. So
you're right.
That's if they meet Mahomes. But anyway,
y'all gotta beat Russell Wilson first. Don't forget what happened earlier in the season.
Yeah, what about Russell Wilson?
Yes, and we saw what happened. When
Mr. Unlimited.
Exactly. We made Russell Wilson fumble as he came trying to run across the field like this was like 2014 again. Cracked that boy and made him drop that football. Go ahead.
For me, with Lamar in the third MVP, I mean, I'm on the cusp of like, yes, I know Lamar. He should be the third MVP winner, but like we were thinking, like realistically, I'm for me, I'm sure there's a lot of Raven fans that desire for us to get the Super Bowl. That's what we're that's what we're mainly concerned with more, because we know there's all these doubts about him in the playoffs and all this different narratives and things like that. And I'm more concerned with him being able to prove all the people wrong. I mean, he's been doing it so far, but it's just this one thing that he needs is the Super Bowl, and that's what I mainly want. So I'm fine if he wins the MVP, cool, and if he doesn't win the MVP, well. And so I mean, I heard someone mention that it sounds like Joel Embiid versus Jokic last year.
Oh my
what
God.
happened with that one? And that's when Joel Embiid won the MVP, but Jokic ended up winning the NBA Finals. So it'd be great if something can happen like that, and Lamar can be Jokic. So for me, it is what it is. So I'm just hoping the best, and I hope they make the Super Bowl, and that's what I'm really concerned about. So,
And I agree. I think the priority really is Super Bowl. But the thing is, for Lamar's legacy, honestly, when he first came into the league, he was battling controversy. People trying to tell him to change positions. He's a running back. He's not a real quarterback. And it's a little different when you get into the league and people are trying to tell you you're not a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, and knowing that you're an elite quarterback. So for Lamar to have to keep proving them and just keep proving the critics wrong, and each year it's getting better and better. Like, and this year it's just it's a crazy. It's one of the it's a crazy thing to witness. To see how the growth and how he came into the league and everybody's calling him a running back and this and that. But, like he said, how's that for a running back? When you look at his stats and he's over there leading at all the QBs in the NFL, all these stats and like QB ratings and all that. And it's just like, it's great to see for like a third MVP would be nice, and that would really just reward him for the type of year he's having, and would further boost his legacy and in the conversation of top quarterbacks. And this year him also putting up like 6 or 7 or maybe like 6 or 7 like Jackson 5s, which is basically 5 touchdowns in a game. And yeah, we call that a Jackson 5.
mm-hmm.
Yep. So and usually and it's even better when he does it with no picks, and he's done it even a couple times with a perfect QBR. So that's what I'm saying. For me, this year is probably one of his best years. Even though his record isn't one of his best records, it is one of his best years statistically. So, but I do agree. We're worried about a Super Bowl for his legacy more, because that is the main thing hanging over his head, and I would like to see him get one of those this year.
Legacy-wise, though, I really feel like Lamar Jackson. I mean, I was thinking about it earlier today. I was looking at some of the all-time greats and stuff, and looking back in history. I actually recently, this past December, I was reading this book about the history of the black quarterbacks in the NFL, and I'm not gonna lie, Lamar is like, it's hard to argue. Like, is he the greatest black quarterback in the history of the game? I know he still has to get the Super Bowl because Russell Wilson got the Super Bowl, Pat Mahomes, Doug Williams, all that. But Lamar really might be the greatest black quarterback in the history of the game.
He might be.
Greatest dual threat, greatest black quarterback. He might be.
Hold on. Now I'm thinking about it. Hold on.
He might be, though. I mean, if you look at it, like I tell you, bro, I'm telling you, it's weird to think about that he's done this in this short amount of time. Look at his rushing yards and look at his passing yards. He is he's the only quarterback to put up as many rushing yards and passing yards as he does in a season. You don't see that. That's what, that's what I mean. Like, you really me, especially being a Ravens fan, I'm able to sit here and I really appreciate it because I get to watch it like play by play, and it's something that honestly right now nobody else can say. You know what I'm saying? So it's special. Speaking of, over here, online looking at NFL.com, said which should be who should be NFL MVP. I'm already gonna make my pick right here. That's that right there, and I'm gonna submit that anyway. But go ahead.
I was just saying everything that you were saying. I'm definitely agreeing with what you're saying because like he's having a season like none other, and like we're seeing 4,000 plus passing yards and then over 800 yards plus rushing. I mean, who's doing that? And then he also beat Michael Vick's records too. So most rushing yards by a quarterback. So it's definitely been a great season so far, and I just really want him to get the Super Bowl so I can just do all the trash talking I want. Be all
I have a lot of
trash talking. I can't wait.
Questions, but I'm a possibly
Lamar
hold them.
Jackson fans.
Oh my God.
It's just like he's a great quarterback. Obviously, he's one of the great quarterbacks ever played the game. And if he gets a third MVP, look, I mean, talk about legacy. Not a lot of quarterbacks can say that they have 3 MVPs. But not a lot of players can say they have 3 MVPs. But think about all that's accounted for. He has 2 MVPs and 2 playoff wins. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's nothing to talk about. Like, 2 MVPs, which is great. 2 playoff wins in how many years? That's terrible for a 2-time MVP. Like, there's nothing else to say. So you guys made your MVP picks. It seems as if Lamar Jackson is the consensus. Julian said, I mean, if Joe Burrow's in the playoffs, he picked Joe Burrow, but his pick is still Lamar Jackson. Tyrus, I'm very disappointed in you. I thought it was gonna be something different. You're rocking with Lamar Jackson, which I'm not mad at. But I have a question before I make my pick. If we going off stats, because y'all naming a lot of stats, was Lamar Jackson the MVP last year off of stats? Y'all fans, but was he the MVP last year?
Hey, we already knew you was gonna go that route. I knew you was gonna go that
I
route.
was waiting on it, and honestly, I didn't really get to talk about this year. Well, I'll do that real quick because I know we kind of like, moving past time. I didn't expect us to get to see it, but one this year to me, for my reasons why Lamar Jackson should be that guy is the fact that all like how dominant he was this year. It was crazy to witness. It's something when you're watching a game and you're just able to see a quarterback just put on the type of beating that he does on opponents.
That's cool. No, I'm happy.
Wait, hold on. I'll answer your question. And to put up, and like I said, to put up the amount of stats that he did, and the type of stats and the way he did it was very dominant, and carrying his team to the wins and all that stuff. That stuff, what's it called, the Cincinnati game, stiff arming a defender, then throwing a game winning touchdown, like stuff like that, like making dominant plays. It's that stuff. That's why he got my vote this year, along with the stats and stuff he's putting up. Last year, to me, it was honestly it's just crazy because honestly I was certain that last year was probably, I thought that was going to be like his best year, but it wasn't. Last year, I felt like he won it off of like what we're talking about, how dominant. I think he was, because last year he was dominant, and in the importance level of like what he brought to the table. Because at that point, our team didn't really have. We had weapons, but it's a little bit different this year. This year, we got it all figured out, and we have a couple of players step up, like Rashard Bateman is now showing his real colors. He wasn't doing that last year very well. We have right now, we have guys at pretty much every position. Last year we had guys, but they were still trying to find their spot. It was trying to figure out how we're going to fit in some guys. Defense last year on the Ravens were great, but last year for me, I feel like Lamar Jackson won that award because of how we basically was able to steamroll through teams and be very dominant, and most of that was Lamar Jackson's doing.
Can I answer that question? Last year, statistically was not the greatest year statistically for Lamar, and particularly looking at who won the MVP, looking at the history of the MVP reward. Statistically, it was a down year for him, and down year for probably the lowest graded statistics of any MVP. Last year I probably would have given it to Josh Allen. This year is just his best year, like period. Nobody's going to debate me. This is his best year. Throwing the ball, this is the best year I've seen Lamar. The crispest I've seen him. I wish I would have seen this Lamar a couple years ago. I feel like Ravens fans, don't look at me weird. Jalen, don't look at me weird. Y'all have done a horrible job of giving him an offensive coordinator that can actually develop his talent. Like, y'all had, what was the offensive coordinator his first year? Was it like Todd Monken? Y'all had him running pretty much an option.
First year was Greg Roman. And that was the one.
I absolutely hate that man. I'm so glad he's gone. And now he's
finally gave respect to him though for what he did.
That actually understands the QB position, that actually developed. Now you see him putting up these numbers. Like, so yeah, this year is probably his year. Last year, I probably would have gave it to Josh Allen, but yeah.
Before we close it up, everybody's giving their MVP picks and all that stuff before we bring it to a conclusion. I was gonna say, last year I would have picked Josh Allen too. Josh Allen, actually, man, I wanted Josh Allen to win that joint. I wanted to see him get an MVP last year. I think the turnovers held him back. I think did he lead the league in turnovers last year, or he was up there for sure?
I think he was up there.
But the thing with Lamar last season, Lamar his stats were not super crazy or nothing like that, but he still was very valuable. He still was very valuable. And I was talking to my guy. He wasn't able to join. My big cousin, Meech, Tampa Bay fan. We got the Family Feud going on Sunday. We're gonna be matching up, but he's actually was talking about how Jaden is baby Lamar, and I told him, I was like, no, please don't do that. I said no, because I said Jaden is the first Jaden Daniels, because Lamar Jackson and Jaden, like let people are comparing Jaden as a rookie to Lamar right now. That tells you everything you need to know. Jaden Daniels right now is being compared to Lamar, who's already several MVPs way down the road. Jaden is in his first year, still learning, rookie year. And I told him, I'm like, no, we're not going to do that, because to me, Lamar, rookie year, wasn't anywhere close to what Jaden's doing right now. And what the point I'm making with that is this: I think that the season we've seen this year from Jaden Daniels, he's already had a season that could be an MVP season. Like, Jaden's numbers this year are on par with Lamar's numbers last year as an MVP already.
And they gave him the MVP award. That says a lot. That says everything you need to know about the NFL.
Popularity vote.
Well, I can tell you Josh Allen was going to get it last year.
You might have a point with the popularity. What? Yeah, you might have a point with that.
Listen. I'll say this to close it off, because I didn't actually give an in-depth before we close it off.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Josh Allen is the MVP. Josh Allen is the MVP. Case closed. And it's, for me, it's not that it's not close. I just feel like, for some reason, the argument switched from last year to this year, because last year the argument was, oh yeah, Josh Allen has better stats. He leads Lamar in every other category, but Lamar Jackson, he has the better record. Now this year, Josh Allen has the better record, and his stats are kind of comparable. It's Lamar, he has better stats. So which one is it? That's why I say it's popularity, because does the NFL like Lamar more than Josh Allen? Because that's what it's looking like. It's like when I was saying that Josh had better stats last year, it was, Lamar's number one in the AFC, or he has the better record. Even though it's by a game or two, he had the better record. Now this year, when one has the better record, it's Lamar, man. You take him off the Ravens, his stats, man. And that's true. His stats are amazing. If anything, I would have gave it to him this year than I would have gave it to him last year. We can all agree on that. But Josh Allen is the MVP right now. He is. I mean, the stat the other day showed that he's accounted for 80% of the offense, while Lamar's only accounted for, I think, 67, which is still really good for both ends. But one is doing more than the other. One is more valuable than the other. We went into
I
the
mean,
season. A lot of the ESPN analysts were sitting there saying, I mean, the Dolphins, they're coming. The Jets, they're here. You know, Josh Allen, he doesn't have Gabe Davis, he's not Stephon Diggs, no Jordan Poyer, no Tre'Davious White, no Micah Hyde, none of these big names, and that's all true. Basically an entire new roster, and look what he's doing. Now look at
I'm
the
looking at
Ravens.
the All Pros on the Ravens right now. This is crazy.
The Ravens, I'm
yeah,
gonna
we
do
got
that.
like 9 of them in there.
The
Nine.
Ravens have 9 total Pro Bowlers, including Lamar Jackson. The Bills have 2, including Josh Allen. I think that says it all. One has more help than the other. That's just what it is, and I love the Bills. That's my team. But the Ravens are overall, I guess you could kind of say, better on paper than the Bills are. That's just what it is. So if you want to talk about value, look whose stats are great while also having a better record. Look who's accounted for more offensively than the other. That's just what it is. You take,
I mean,
like I said,
I think honestly with the offensive like percentage, I think that's also another thing that is not really being taken into account of, because like I guarantee you the rest of the percentage is probably going to our running backs, and our running backs probably would not be having the year that they were having if it wasn't for the fact that we had Lamar Jackson back there able to run quarterback option or read option or whatever. That's my fault. Or whatever he wants to run back there. You can't just zero in on,
I'm not hearing none of that. Derrick Henry is one of the greatest running backs ever played this game.
Of course, but at the same time,
We have Derrick
I'll
Henry
tell
on
you,
the team.
Derrick Henry's numbers.
No. Derrick Henry's
I'll
not
tell you,
Brian
but no.
Robinson. Derrick Henry's not
telling
James
you.
Cook. Derrick Henry's one of the greatest running backs to ever play the game, who had a
Of course,
2,000-yard
but-
season. If
Of
you have
course.
him on the team, there's nothing to say.
Of course, but you can't tell me that Lamar Jackson doesn't account for helping Derrick Henry get some of those yards, because I'm telling you, if you're sitting back there and you see Lamar Jackson pull that ball, he's going the opposite direction, you just see nothing but field, your heart is going to drop to your chest. So you cannot just ignore the fact that Lamar Jackson is a running threat. So now you got to watch Lamar and Derrick Henry. So you can't tell me that Lamar Jackson did not help Derrick Henry get to where he kind of is.
All you're doing is proving my point as to why one is the MVP and one is the other. One has, let's not forget, Derrick Henry was in the MVP conversation at the beginning of the season because how he started off hot. Let's not forget that.
He just started off hot.
He did. Let's not forget. He kind of slowed down a little bit, and Lamar did pick it up. But it's like you have 2 players in the MVP conversation. You have 9 Pro Bowlers to the Bills, 2, including Josh Allen. You have one who is arguably the greatest running back of all time. And I don't want to ever diminish James Cook because he played great this year too. But it's like I'd rather have Derrick Henry than James Cook. I'm pretty sure everybody in this call would rather have Derrick Henry over their running backs on their respective teams. I think we can all agree on that. So I don't. When you have a Pro Bowler running back, or you have greatest running back of all time, a 2,000-yard season running back, and a big name like Derrick Henry, who's also the defense also has the game plan for, it's kind of hard to give the other one MVP when you have 2 star-studded players. I don't see how Josh Allen isn't the MVP when he went into the season and everybody was saying, who does he have? Who does he have? Me and Tyrus had the conversation. When I was saying Khalil Shakir, people were looking at me crazy. They was like, who's that? Like, you really expect him to step up? And look what happened. It's an everybody eats offense. And he has 5 straight seasons with 40-plus touchdowns when nobody thought he would do that this year because he has no names on the roster. That's just, it is what it is. One has 9 Pro Bowls. No, one has 8 Pro Bowls, and the other one has 1.
You know what?
The conversation is over. Josh Allen is the MVP. The case is closed. I'm sorry.
Let's save some of these discussions for another live for sure, because we're kind of running over now. But I was just looking on IG, Sunday Night Football. I saw they made their picks. Tony Dungy and Rodney Harrison made their picks for Coach of the Year. And I saw my man Dan Quinn and Kevin O'Connell on there, which is interesting. Would love to see Dan Quinn win it. I doubt he will, but it'd be nice to see him win it. But yeah, I would love to chop it up with y'all next time. You said what?
Said Dan Quinn, Coach of the Year, AP, Executive of the Year.
Oh yeah, and
Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year, but that's another conversation, I guess.
Yeah, we gonna see. But I would definitely love to do chop it up with y'all another time on live. We could do talk about the MVP race. We could talk about Coach of the Year, all those awards and stuff like that. That's gonna be fun. But playoffs start tomorrow. A lot of great games. Love chopping it up with y'all. This is the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. Y'all got any last words?
Go Bills.
I can't wait to watch Lamar Jackson stomp his way to the Chiefs. That'd be nice.
You
And
gotta
over
get to Josh Allen first.
and over Josh Allen, like
Yeah.
he did in the regular season.
Crazy.
I'm here for the narrative, and I'm here for Lamar's finally going to get his first Super Bowl win. I can't. I cannot wait. It'll be glorious.
That was to the Commanders.
2 playoff wins for 2 MVPs, kind of crazy, but I guess.
It'll be more as he stomps over to Josh Allen and then crosses his number of 5 playoff wins
Let's
as
not
well.
forget, Josh Allen has more playoff wins than your 2-time MVP.
But Josh Allen's never been. Josh Allen's never really gone anywhere.
Let's not forget, Josh Allen beat the Ravens in the playoffs not too long ago.
Oh
Let's talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
that as well.
Let's not forget that Lamar Jackson stomped over Josh Allen like he was the Browns, like he did last week.
Tyrus, you see how he's talking about the regular season? I'm talking about the
I'm
playoffs.
just saying.
What matters more?
We keep talking. We might go into the game tomorrow.
The playoffs are right now. We could. All you have to do is just wait. The playoffs are right now. All I gotta do is wait till tomorrow at 8:00.
All right, we gonna see.
For me, seriousness, I really just hope they beat the Steelers. That's just all I want mainly right now. And like I said before, taking it one game at a time. And I'm like really nervous. And I can just. I don't
definitely
think
got to go live more often. And also, I would love you guys, to come on next week, possibly. We could do a round table of just recapping the wild card round, just recapping win or lose. I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna keep talking, win or lose. But it'd be cool to have y'all on next week to just talk about the results and everything. But yeah, it was fun tonight chopping it up with y'all. We're gonna get back. My man Malachi had to go. But yeah, it was fun, and we're gonna see the results of tomorrow with the AFC teams, and I think the NFC's on Sunday. But yeah, it's about to get spicy.
The Bills play Sunday too. They just play early, 1:00.
Bring the Commanders home. Bring them back to RFK.
Oh yeah,
So
I seen that too.
Oh, and the Vikings and Rams play Monday. Why did they play Monday? Why can't just? I guess.
Oh
yeah,
they did. They did. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, man. Hey, fun talking with y'all boys. Thanks everybody for watching. I saw Jalen. I saw your dad in the live stream chat. He said he's rocking with Bills Mafia. Okay.
Ooh.
Since he's a Giants fan, he can stay on New York.
Oh my God!
Of course, great man. He knows ball. He knows ball.
Don't root for that. That's the thing. Look at this team that he's rooting for. You want him to root for you now?
Listen.
And then he said Bo is a little too young. Yeah, he might be.
We'll see, bro. I wouldn't want. Okay, we'll see.
For sure. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as follow to the Fourth and Goal Sports Instagram page. I'm your host, Tyrus Filson. This is the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. Until next time, peace.
See ya.
All right. Peace, y'all.